And we're good to go. Here we are, final quarterfinal. And it's probably going to be the closest quarterfinal we've had in King of the Desert 5. The first three, not so close. But we expect this series to be very different than the others. Lots of aggression here. And Hera comes in as the favorite, in my opinion, Dave. But he also came in as the favorite when he faced up against Vinchester in King of the Desert 4. And Vinch then beat Hera 3-2, moved on to beat Yo 4-1, then beat Leary 4-1, only to lose to Viper in the final. So I don't know if we're going to see King of the Desert 4 Vinch today, but he's had a crazy run in the past.
He looked really good in the final 4 games against Hart. Hart was up 2-0 against Vinchester. And then Vinchester did end up losing that second game, but he looked pretty solid in it. In recovery mode with the Vietnamese, as Vinchester is now laming the elephant here from Hera, but Hera is right there with the scout.
Now, I think Hera's going to try and block, but he might just want to attack the eagle here. The eagle's already weak. Let's see.
There is a stone there. Maybe he could use it to block the elephant. Hera is not going to be able to deny this lame, I don't think. I think Vinchester's going to hold on to this. There is a scout, though, so Hera could counter lane.
He's going to try and block here. Vinchester stops. Wow, what a great lane from Vinch. No hesitation, Dave. He just went for it, didn't think about it, and Hera says, okay, well, I'll let you take mine. I'll just take yours. Enemy meat tastes better anyways. So a little boar swap here to start the quarterfinal.
Elephant swap.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God.
Boars equal elephants and rhinos. Deer equal zebra and ostrich. We didn't read the books when we were kids. We didn't read the elephant books, or not the elephant books, the animal books. We don't know what they are.
What's funny is it's actually gotten to a point where I'll be looking at a sheep or a boar and I'll say elephant or goat now. I just can't keep up with it. But good recovery from Hera.
That's an annoying elephant placement.
Yeah.
Tried to go around the villagers on the goat, but Hera's still going to get that in. And that's just classic, right? Vinchester comes forward to lame. Hera can't do anything about it.
Where's his
wood?
wood?
The elephant is just right there.
This map is horrible. Like, Hera can't find a wood line that makes sense beyond the one that's in the middle of the two players.
He's trying to find it. He's taking straggler trees now. And that's because he had to deny that lame early. And he's going to find the wood back here. And now he knows it's a terrible map, but it's not awful as it might have been with that wood line at the back.
Yeah. It's good that he waited because sometimes players will just want that lumber camp down right away. So food count should be fine for both players. Interestingly enough, Vinchester didn't stay at home with his eagle. He's coming back home now, but he's actually got 4 goats that he hasn't collected yet. And I want to return to the conversation over meta a bit because in King of the Desert 4, Vinch kind of started this 2 militia drush meta into the archers. He was really good with it, in particular with Aztecs and with Mayans. There is a theme with certain players, and Hera falls into this category, where they feel like men-at-arms and militia opening is suboptimal, and it is either scouts or just archers. So I'm really excited to see if Vinchester goes away from what Hera probably believes, and if he goes back to the men-at-arms.
I think so. I mean, he's so comfortable with it, right? Him and Sato are the 2 players that I think of consistently going for those strategies. And Vinchester was playing into that style before it was really super meta. He's kind of the one, like you mentioned, that made it meta.
Yeah, it's true.
He does have a better map than Hera. He's taken the forward wood line, which is maybe an issue, but he does have the back wood line as well and a back gold. And the berries are kind of out of reach if he walls to the right, which he might end up doing. Aztecs should be still favored against Tatars, even with the food cost increase to the Eagles that we got recently. They should still be better.
Okay. You can still hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. I dropped, but I'll just stick around and see what happens. So,
like your stream dropped?
Yeah.
It's so weird because I didn't hear any interruptions over here.
I don't know. Maybe it's servers or something. We'll see how it goes. But I don't want to miss this game, so we'll just stick around and see how things flow on my side. It's all good. No barracks yet for Vinchester, by the way.
Yeah, and the barracks is coming up here from Hera. I will say, both bases are very flat.
Yeah,
Considering we have Tatars here, like usually the hills will be all around the TCs, but look at this. Like, look at all the hills in the north of the map, bro. Good luck placing a TC anywhere in the north. if you want to expand it. I don't even. There's like one TC spot that's available.
And
there's also a random well. What? There's a well and a keg.
A well and a keg? Where's the well?
Go northwest of Vinchester's base.
Northwest, okay.
And just scroll up there. It's near the little pond up there. It's
like
to the
an
left
actual
of the pond.
well?
Yeah.
I don't see it.
See the little pond?
Oh,
yeah.
I do see it.
It's so random, bro.
Interesting. Well, I know there's like a pyramid that can spawn on some of these maps, so maybe it's either a pyramid or it's the little well.
I haven't seen this, though. I haven't seen that at all.
Hopefully no one trips in there. A random outpost villager might fall in a well later on. If he's
like
had too many beers and it's too late at night, he might just fall right in.
Yeah, there's like a keg of water there, and then there's another keg of beer. I don't. Maybe he was drinking the beer and he's gone, dude.
Look at this from Vinch. He just full walls. And Hera's going scouts. He's gone for a very fast uptime. This is just a defensive opening here for Vinchester. Again, Aztecs, starting with extra gold, can oftentimes use that. And they use that to go for a man-at-arm archer. Hera slides in there with 2 scouts, and you know he's going to love this. Because he is never going to stop microing these 2 scouts.
And there's another Eagle Scout coming out from Vinchester, so he's going to chase after this army. It's going to be very annoying at the back here.
Yep.
And Hera will just look for as much value as he possibly can against the Eagle, takes that one out almost for free.
And another one runs past. He's got 3 in here now.
He's buying himself a ton of time.
Oh, God, Vinch is struggling.
Scouts do.
He had to garrison multiple times now. The go back to work hockey didn't work, so then his villagers just stood there. He's had to focus on this. And this is also why you see aggression before walling, right? Like, Hera has to react to nothing at home, so he could micro his heart out.
Edville.
And that's an easy kill for Hera. That should always happen for him and any player at this level. Vinchester, maybe more along the lines of Yo in the previous series, just needs some time to warm up, as Hera just runs right past again. At what point do you full wall this?
It feels like you have to, right?
Yep.
But there's already 4 scouts in there, so maybe you're stuck in the idea like, well, surely he's not sending another.
Yeah, that's true.
he's probably not going to, right? Hera's added the archer range, and he's going to go for skirmishers. And, well, he still only has 1 wood line really available to him because the map isn't great. But he's buying himself a ton of time with the scouts, and that's what you have to do with the scouts. If you play scouts to just contest in the middle, they're kind of lackluster.
Yep.
Right? But if you have them in your opponent's base like this is preventing any aggression coming forward from Vinchester.
Hera really wants this villager. I don't know if he's going to get her. I like how Vinchester hasn't lost more.
Ooh, it's going to heal up.
That's actually really helpful here, because eventually the long term is going to have to be something offensive for Vinchester, and Eagle is one of the best things for that. Hera now is expecting archers, and his scouts that are stuck in here are going to try and leave.
Should have walled with that Vil.
That's okay, though. Killing 2 scouts ends up working out.
Is fine. Yeah. And now you have peace of mind. Vinchester's like, finally, I don't have to deal with this stuff in the back. But the skirmishers production is happening for Hera. He now stretches out to the gold, and he's got a pretty decent food eco behind this. 8 farms. Has not gone for horse collar, though. It's a very Hera thing. Even with scout build, he thinks horse collar is not that valuable until the 2nd round of farms.
It's also, I'm finding horse color being skipped because of the really fast uptimes. Before on like 20 or 21 pop-up times, you're seeing it. You're floating more res. Players are just advancing so quickly to the next age now. Vinch went skirms here, which is very unorthodox. Hera was expecting archers. So I'm sure Hera was surprised to see the skirmishers, but he's got more skirms of his own. And he's got better micro thus far as well, and he's just going to take out the spears. And if he takes out the spearmen, then the scouts could kill the skirms that are out there from Vinch. A very weird army composition for the Aztecs. Normally, they're centered around gold.
Hera's going to be so happy with this. He can make his way up naturally to the next stage, and he can just add a few scouts along the way. He doesn't even need to go for that market. He's got a lot on gold right now, so he will go for the market.
This is weird, dude. I mean, it's just such an odd army comp that Vinchester has here. Hera will just produce another skirm, another scout. He's actually chasing down the weak eagle and doinks that. Very well done. I guess right now the worry for Hera would be the fact that he's not fully walled. and that if his opponent makes it to the next stage faster than him, his gold is exposed.
What is this Phil doing on that straggler tree? What a random villager to have out there. She must have been taking the straggler trees around the TC and then went to the closest wood available.
It's closer than that wood line, that's for sure. But Hera gets the better of the engagements here. Again, he killed a villager.
Are alone too.
And he clicks up. He takes another good engagement against a gold unit. That's really good micro, actually, to recognize that one scout was all that was needed for that eagle. And Hera, I think, is going to try Step Lancers here. But his army composition, or sorry, his eco setup isn't actually perfect for Step Lancers because you actually want more on food and less on gold for steps.
That guy with the gold has been stuck there for so long.
Guy with the gold. Oh, in the gold
Hera.
pile there. Yeah.
He's been stuck there for, like, his efficiency is at 37%, all-time 50% efficiency.
It's dropping. It's down to 23. Oh, I see the all-time. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. It says he's been moving, but in reality, he wasn't moving for 50% of his life. He was standing. Capture Age needs to step up their descriptions here. Okay, so Hera's gold is vulnerable. Yeah.
And another stable, too. And there's the blacksmith right there. Like you said, the gold is still vulnerable. The scout probably should have come out a little bit earlier.
Still no horse color for Hera as farms are going to start expiring. His wood situation's awkward. No small walls for him either. If he takes damage to this, I think we have to question the lack of walling. I understand that Hera wants to fight with army and that he's good at it, but Vinchester is too. What a weird situation here. Almost from both players. That they just like didn't respect the opponent's ability to micro at various points in this game.
And now Hera is adding knights. He's not going to Step Lancer. He sees how much gold he has. He loses a villager. The Eagles are still pressuring the skirm, but he's got a 2-minute advantage to Castle Age.
Which is huge.
Over Vinchester right now. And once one knight comes out, can kind of push this army away. Vinch isn't going to get a second villager just yet. There's the knight right there.
Vinch just needs to commit to one and he gets another kill. He's been dancing around.
He won't get this.
It doesn't get it. Interesting. And yeah, well played from Hera. In the end, he only loses one vill, which is the same amount he killed. And now he clears up eagles and archers.
And so, Vinchester right now is probably super thankful after losing this army that there are no hills near his base.
True.
Because if there was hills near his base and the Tatars were coming forward, maybe a siege workshop or something could be concerning. But right now it's just going to be knights for Hera, and he's sending that villager. He's going to place it on the one hill in between them. And the mangonels will be coming out shortly.
Vinch has lost so many gold units. So many units in general. Hera on 3 knights now. I'm still concerned over Hera's wood situation. Like, he is in a kill fast or die situation economically. Because he just doesn't... He's got an exposed gold. He's not even going to try and wall. And he's almost chopped through his entire wood line. So, he needs the siege to come out fast.
Monastery coming up from Vinch. That could be nice. And Aztec monks, they do get redemption, right? He's got 11 on gold. If he knows the siege is coming, as he adds a second TC, it's interesting.
Yeah,
if he knows it's coming, he could get redemption really quick.
Normally, it's 3 barracks and 1 monastery if you're going one town center, right? So Vinchester choosing to go the economic route. With this map, I think it makes sense. Now, something Vinch could do to really annoy Hera here is just trickle random eagles at various points into Hera's gold to punish the fact that Hera's not walling that. But Hera's got so much pressure, Hera's going to see it the whole way. Wait, or will he, actually? Because 2 eagles from Vinchester, they're looking for the well. Headed to the north right now.
Might find that with the scout. Good scouting here from Hera with that...
the weak scout there.
Yeah. Oh, it's full it's HP. Not even weak. It's the one he produced on the way up. But he's looking for relics, right? He knows the Aztec player is probably going to be gumming out for that. And he's missed the eagles.
Hera has already re-walled the wood line. Needs the houses anyways. I like the approach. Eagles from Vinch. They didn't know about the siege or the knights, and they're going to die. Vinch losing more precious army. And Hera's got to be really happy with that. And
oh my god, dude. That eagle should never have killed that mangonel.
Oh, what? Never. I looked away. I didn't think it would.
Yeah. Never. Hera had the rest of the knights on stand ground, I think. They weren't attacking the eagle. He was attacking with 1, and he loses the mangonel. It just makes this position so much worse now.
It does. Vinchester's trying to get the relic on the left. He still continues to just run eagles around. Like, these eagles are not in a high enough number to take a main engagement, so he's trying to just loop-de-loop all the time.
God, if Hera had that Mangonel, it would be a completely different situation here.
Yeah, he'd be taking out the barracks right now. And Hera needs a TC on wood. He's TCing stone. Dude, his eco is going to be disastrous. All of his farms are soon going to expire, Dave. He has 6 on wood.
It might be a situation. I know Hera, like, when he makes a mistake, he's really hard on himself, and it kind of builds up, right? Like, he kind of lets it get to him a little bit. Losing that Mangonel might be a really bad thing for Hera's mental state in this game here, because that was super avoidable.
Yeah, there's not many monks out there for Vinch, but he does have 2 monasteries right now.
Villager is dying randomly on the left side.
Oh, yeah, true. Hera's looking for the monk.
Coming in.
So that monk might not make it back. What an interesting game. Like, Hera opened up the kill quickly here, and we saw 1 Mangonel. That was it.
And once you lose that first Mangonel, it's like, do I even go for a second one?
Yeah.
He's just made it right now, but it was a little bit late.
Look at Hera.
Adding a monastery of his own, now scouting.
Poor Hera's being creative, looking for the monk. And if he would have just stayed where he was, he would have probably found the monk. Vinchester, he'll be okay to defend from this. He's got good food eco. He's going for pikemen now. And Aztec production is pretty quick. I doubt Hera will be able to break through once he gets this barracks down. But taking down the barracks is obviously a huge help. Scout got converted there, actually, for Hera. And a knight gets converted as well, which means the Mangonel is going to go down, and Hera's going to lose another knight as well. Hera's going to dive because he just feels like this is going really poorly for him right now.
And Vinchester added that second TC early. And another knight is converted inside. Hera's going to get a couple villagers here. Doesn't get the ones following up. He doesn't kill those. Does he even get another villa here? He doesn't. Wow. Oh my god.
And Hera still, potentially needs to lock down his base for when the raids add up here, because now there's pikemen, there's eagles, there's monks. Vinchester will be on 3 TCs. Great defense from him. Kills another knight, and now I really wonder how Hera's going to be able to defend this. It looks like he wants a castle. He's got tons on stone, so that would make sense. Maybe a defensive castle is what you need right now.
It's going to have to be defensive, because I don't think you can come forward unless you get a 6 shot with this Mangonel. The monks, the pikemen, the eagles.
Better eco for Vinchester. More resources collected, I'm sure, because he's Aztec, so I'll check that. Yeah, he has. He's got 1 relic. And, I mean, the siege workshop is just a distraction at this point. There's no way Hera can... Well, actually, it's not true. Hera could actually take a pretty good fight here with that.
Oh, nice shot. Lots of damage there with that Mangonel. He's going to get another one, maybe? No, Vinchester runs away, but it's 4 monks.
Many monks.
We've got pikemen. We've got eagles. Hera, actually, he could have a chance here. If he gets some good momentum with a fight, like if he builds up enough knights and comes forward, he could place this castle while taking a fight, and Vinchester might try and overcommit.
If the monks aren't there, he can win the fight. But if the monks get any conversions, he's in deep trouble.
Yep.
Oh, man. Vinch doesn't know how bad Hera's eco setup is. Will he try and deny this, or will he feel like Hera's in a position...
Knights coming from behind here from Hera, and the scouts looping around. And these are weak knights. These are weak knights. So even if Vinchester converts them, they're going to be pretty easy to kill. 1 monk goes down. Scouts are on staying ground once again. Conversions are coming in. All of the infantry is dead here from Vinchester. Hera should be able to place that castle, but he's going to lose a lot to do it.
Yeah. All things considered, if the castle goes up, a really good position for Hera to have, though. Well played from him to do that, because if he plays the super defensive castle, he gives up too much map control. Yeah. Look at that monk underneath the castle. He could actually convert something.
He's chilling. He's gonna get that knight. He's gonna get that. That's just sad. Oh, Hera!
That's funny.
Harrison the knight. Vinchester's monk goes down. Love to see it. And now it's a 3rd TC for Hera. And now we're starting to get a little bit concerned for Vinchester here, because Hera, it feels like he's kind of like worked himself out of the first game jitters. Maybe. Saw some execution mistakes. And Hera's suddenly in a position where he has 3 TCs. He's got a castle on the hill as Tatars. And he's right at the front of Vinchester's base. Now, Vinchester is still in a better position economically. And he's got more military than Hera. But Hera's a beast, man. If he has 3 TCs pumping, and now 4th TC on the way, and decent farm eco, Hera is incredibly tough to take down.
And let's see if he goes for another castle. Because he's got enough for it. Generally speaking, if you have enough stone for a castle, you place that castle. You just go for it. Hera, 4th town center at home. A scout that was converted is going to attack villagers there. And, I mean, what Vinch wants here is he wants the Imperial Age and he wants to treb that castle down from Hera. Hera has no real way to do damage as he tries and loses another knight to a conversion. Vinch is fine here, I think. He gets his buildings up too. Some players would forget that university and then they'd waste another minute or so in the first game.
Hera has enough for this castle. This castle should go up because he's sending a ton of vills. And then he's probably going to have enough for another one, dude.
Yeah, okay, that castle goes up because it's closer to his castle, but does it range anything? Let's see if Vinch tries to contest this. Eagle counterattack for Vinchester, by the way, where that scout just was a moment ago. So Hera's got to look at that. And now his castle is...
He's sending his cavalry back to deal with that.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get this castle. He's got a monk of his own. That's a good quick wall on the other side. Vinchester's trying to stall this out.
Yep.
But, like, if you don't have any military attacking, stalling out the villagers with monks...
You just let it happen.
You're going to get a few conversions, but you're going to lose the monks once that castle goes up.
You're imping here. You don't want to lose those monks. Pull back. Start to make trebs. Hera, he doesn't have an army comp, Dave, of any real value at this point, right?
Yep. He's going to go up to Imp, though. And he's going to have 2 castles versus the 1 from Vinchester.
Will Vinchester have enough army to be able to snipe the trebs from Hera? Will Hera have the wood? That's still a concern to be able to make trebuchets. Because I'm not seeing it, dude. I guess the wood is on the front. Might not have the stone now to be able to repair his castles. You can really tell how awkward this game has been for Hera. Because at one point he's got 20 on stone. Now he's got 2. At one point he's got 30 on food. Then he had 8. You know, it's just like been all over the place economically for him.
Infantry armor coming in. The pikeman army is coming out to raid. For Vinchester, it's going to head back towards that. I don't know about sending this pikeman army out like this.
Agreed.
Like, just protect your trebs. You're going to have Imperial Age advantage.
Vinch is just the player that wants to kill stuff all the time and raid. Yeah. So he doesn't know what to do with himself right now. But he will convert those units.
Nope.
He gets 1. I would even say in this position that you would buy the next castle. And just make sure you have 2 castles going into this trap war.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. What does Hera go into, unit-wise?
I have
it's
no clue.
It's going to be ranges?
Does he try hand cannons? Tatars do get hand cannons. I think that's what he's thinking of.
He's getting Bodkin, though. It might be for the castle, but...
Oh, yeah.
Tatars... A lot of people forget Tatars have hand cannons.
Yeah, Hera probably has never gone for hand cannon with Tatars in his life. I think it's more of a cav archer thing.
And you might remember hand cannons are a thing.
They should get chemistry regardless, right? So he could make cav archers because at least you're making army ahead of time. But again, still a real big concern because look at Vinchester's resources. He's clicked the lead eagle now. And that will be the perfect unit against cav archers.
Chemistry right away. Do we see chemistry? Yeah, he's going hand cannons.
Okay.
He's going Tatar hand cannons and... Of course, light cav is coming in for Harry. Somehow at 40 farms.
Where is Vinch going with this treb? Vinchester. Okay. He's just going to roll across the map and treb down the TC.
Yep.
What's funny is it actually suits the situation because Hera has no way to save the first castle. Hera's thinking he'll have time.
That castle for Hera is actually... doing wonderful things for him. It's buying him a ton of time.
Yeah, that's true.
Ton of time. And he's not even trying to repair it there, which is great. Treb now looping around. It will take out that TC. And Hera is still 25 seconds away from hand cannon. It's so
rough. And Vinch is going to waltz across the map to drop a castle there, which will protect a stone and a gold. And Hera's whole eco is just going to be exposed in this area. The Treb moving forward is actually a really good play here from Vinchester. And now he can just snipe Hera's trebuchets with his eagles. I think Hera's done here. How do you stop this?
Well, Hera will have light cav. So I've seen him come back from terrible positions if he has light cav spam, but the trebs are going to go down.
Yeah, also...
The villagers repairing are going to go down. The TC is going to go down.
one upgrade on the light cav. He's got forging and bloodline, so I guess that's 2. Horrible position for Hera to be in. Yep.
He's housed. He's going for another TC in the north. All of the villagers around the castle goes down. Once this castle goes down, he's going to be housed even more. Can't produce the hand cannons. He finally got chemistry to make them, and he calls the GG. And you know what? It was a great position for Hera early with the scouts, but he did nothing to protect that gold. Like, he could have added extra scouts after he clicked up the castle age. He really delayed that, and then he was in an awful position there. And then we saw him just never stretch out through the wood lines in the south. He kept on that one wood line, and he was having wood issues the entire time.
From both players' perspectives, this was a ease into the game type of a game 1, right? Like, I think there was some hesitancy at times from Vinch and Hera. There was some uncertainty. It got a little bit messy. But if you're not playing like pinnacle Age of Empires, not playing your absolute best, the approach that's best is the economic approach. And that's precisely what we saw here. Hera, the stone was weird to me. The second TC on stone when you so desperately need wood. Is that due to the fact that he didn't have a good map? Maybe. There's a lot of factors that could have gone into it. But reality is, Vinchester starts off the series. And if there is some stress here, he's probably feeling a whole lot better and a whole lot more relieved after that game.
Yeah, I mean, losing that mangonel from Hera, it just felt like the game shifted.
Yep, it did.
When he lost that.
Because Vinch didn't even have that much army at that stage. He only had like 8 eagles
coming forward.
Yeah.
And Hera had like 7 knights there to protect the mangonel. Like, those eagles should just die. They shouldn't even get a single hit on the mangonel.
Agreed.
And he killed it.
What do we have matchup-wise for game 2?
Chinese Celts.
Oh, bro. Oh, man.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun. Like, Vinchester goes for his all-in civilization, and then Hera goes for the civilization that could potentially have
die to an all-in.
Yeah, die to an all-in, exactly.
Yep.
And this is a swinger and a half, too, right? Because if you lose with Chinese and go down 2-0, that's horrible for you if you're Hera. But if you lose as the Celts here, if you're Vinchester, you kind of feel okay because Hera's just used one of his best civs and you have a lot of yours remaining.
Yep, and it's kind of like if this is a throwaway civ for Vinchester, not throwaway, but like see what happens. Hera's not going to be too happy that he wasted Celts against arguably the best Arabia civ.
Yeah, that's true. Yep,
so
absolutely.
It's good for Vinchester. Even if he loses, there's some silver lining here.
He's going to try and lame yet again.
He is coming forward. He is coming forward. Does he see the stone on the way? He's heading right towards Hera's base. Oh, he'll get confirmation that Hera is near here.
Oh no, this could be so good for Vinch.
There's a hill there too with 2 goats coming in. If he sees the elephant, he's gonna find. Oh man, Hera is
take it immediately
right now.
Take it immediately, Vinch. No hesitation here. You have to take that. Your Celts against Chinese. Take it.
He's gonna take the goat, and he's gonna come back, get on the hill, and go for the elephant. No, he takes another goat. Is there an argument that can be made for Vinch? If you're going for Dark Age pressure, you're gonna want full HP on that scout.
Yeah, there is.
Is that better than taking the elephant away from the Chinese?
If you take 600 food from Chinese, you might not even need to go for the drush. Also, seagulls in the middle, right next to Vinch's scout, going to town.
Bro, you know I was looking at that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just zoomed in on that.
Man, I'm surprised. It also could have been that Vinchester felt like he did enough damage by taking 200 food right there.
Or maybe he remembered last game where he lamed and then immediately got counter-lamed.
Yeah. But the reaction when you're Chinese losing your elephant is almost always, I need to push in as many ostrich as possible now. So I think Hera will be completely fine with his opening. I'm real excited to see what Vinch's build is here, though, right? Because I think you brought up an excellent point. I think the main reason that Vinchester didn't go for that steal there is because that scout is going to be valuable in combination with militia. And that's Vinch's thing. And
push the zebra.
Thing.
Don't let it go back. Don't let it. It's thinking about it. Okay. Whew, sheesh.
It did look like the zebra lacked a sense of direction there for a second, didn't it?
There was no urgency.
Yeah. Vinch bringing in his elephants. He is currently missing 2 of his own goats, which is to the left-hand side of his base, which you have to imagine he'll circle back to. You know, another thing that I just thought of is Chinese have to go for berries. right? It's not a civilization where you can just go to gold and delay the mill. You're always going for that mill. I wonder if Vinchester said, I'll give him the elephant. I want my scout HP because I can hit those berries. That is a brutal berry spot for Hera.
Those berries are exposed.
Mm-hmm. Vinchester.
Hey, Hera's pushing in the third zebra. He's got 2 ostrich and a zebra. Well, you know what I mean. The third deer that are here.
It's a deer in a zebra suit.
I also like how Hera pushes the zebra all the way around to the other side of the TC because he doesn't like the idea of it being clustered on the left side.
That's nice. Until he tries to go for that straggler tree, then it's not
so
nice.
there's a vulture involved now. Oh, another seagull's coming back? Dude, there was 3 seagulls there, and then another one replaced it.
Hera's saying hello to the birds. Hera maybe summoning some power from the birds. Let's see where that barracks is for Vinchester. What's the deal here? He's got lots of wood. Oh, and he's missed his own goats.
That hasn't come down yet.
No, he hasn't. I lied.
He's found him. Don't hype cast this, all right?
Hype casting and missing the goats.
This is serious business, bro. This is the internet.
Is this one of the goats that Hera lost, wandering back to Vinchester's base?
Delay this barracks. That's a non-loom villager.
Hera. Oh! Vinch tried to block that too, so it would get stuck for a second.
He did indeed, and Vinchester's forced to go for the barracks later, and Hera will see the timing on that thing.
Why are you...
Tells him a bit, as Hera's already on the way up to Feudal H. No mill.
I hate that positioning of the barracks so much. You show Hera you're building one, which comes as no surprise. But Hera's never going to attack your Vil there anyways, because your scout is close. Like, Hera doesn't want to lose the HP. Just build the barracks
he had no loom. I disagree. I think Hera would attack that Vil. He had no loom.
Maybe. Yeah. We're going to see a second lumber camp here for Vinchester, who still doesn't have a mill. This guy chops wood faster as is with the Celts. So the wood's going to be there.
Didn't you say Chinese always go for a mill?
I did say that.
Yeah.
And he's
Hera
not doing it.
pushed in all 3.
Yeah.
There was a zebra and 2 ostrich. He pushed them all in, and he's not taking that mill at all. He went for the mining camp.
What an uptime,
second Dark Age building.
But, God, it tilts me so much he didn't steal that elephant.
Yeah.
You got to steal that elephant. Chinese shouldn't be able to maintain their Vil advantage and be up this quickly. This is an unbelievable build from Hera, though. And he might have some eco problems and some balance problems, but still beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Barracks is going to be a little bit late, but it should be fine. And Hera has been tracking that barracks. He saw the flags on it, so he knows the militia are coming out. Vinchester now knows that Hera's not on the berries, so it's not somewhere to pressure. And Hera will now be going for the archer range, and he gets the first wood upgrade. He's going out to the mill. Vinchester might be able to punish this. He's going out for the mill right as the militia come in.
Vinch isn't on gold. What's the plan here? Skirms? Spearmen?
Douche.
He has 500 wood.
Drush douche.
There's the range. There's the scout. There's the militia. Hera was looking with his scout for Vinchester's scout for quite a bit here. That's going to be fine for Hera, though. And Hera might have some idle TC time now because of how late he was to berries, but the main thing here is he's not going to have the food for fletching if that's needed, but I don't think it's needed. Interesting builds here from Vinchester. Now, we remember the main thing about Celts that everyone gets excited about is their crazy siege, and player Huang kind of invented the Huang Rush where you use the market, you get up to the next stage, forward siege workshop, and eat their TC. So we'll see if that's achievable
a weak fill
here.
From Hera. That's a weak fill over there from Hera that the scout is attacking. Vinchester is getting the hill on him, and he's dead.
Yep. Very well played there from Vinch.
You lost the scout, so now your vision is going to be compromised. The militia are still chasing away that archer, and Hera has to go at a weird angle away from his base.
No pressure on Hera right now beyond that. Obviously a little sloppy, but he's going to be walled. He's got good eco. And Vinchester trying as he might with the militia. Still not really showing me what his plan was with the Celts. I expected more aggression because we know how good the Chinese are. They're one of the best civs on Arabia, and now Vinch is housed. Oh, boy. So now he can't even produce out of his range.
It's rough. He should be able to get Town Watch, though. I think Town Watch is good here.
Not even. Like, got 10 on wood with Celts. He doesn't have the food, dude. Not the cleanest game from Vinch. And remember we said after the first game, it was kind of rough from both players. Hera has definitely cleaned it up here in this game. Another range now. So we'll see archers and skirms combined. Militia attacking the house. You know how much I like that type of stuff. Just the small annoyances.
Hera did place the stable, and then he deleted it. So he was thinking about making the switch into scouts.
And he placed it again, and then says...
there's a...
Okay, he wants fletching first. So he was undecided on if he was going to get the blacksmith or the stable.
And I think he realized that Vinchester will be switching into archers here, so the scouts are going to add some less value against them than just a full skirm approach.
Seeing the second range is why he did that. The second range.
He saw the second. Okay.
That's really good. That's a really good switch from him. Because you're exactly right. If he were to add scouts, by the time he's got enough scouts out, there might be, 3 or 4 archers and a spearman in the mix for Vinch.
Still an ugly berry bush from Hera. And I don't love talking about another dude's bush, but like this bush is...
What's uglier, the bush here or the walls for Vinchester? This is
Vinch or MBL.
this is gonna make a shape of something. I'm just not sure what yet. What in the world? I mean, he does have his army protecting his gold, which is really nice.
Dude, Hera is doing the long loop around too, but I love that wall to the edge of the map from Vinchester. I think a lot of people would have just, if they went for walls like this, they would have walled in between the berries and the wood line.
Yeah.
But that one's going to make sure the archers can't sneak around on that side. And Vinchester just patrolling in front of the gold. Please, Vinchester, don't get too aggressive with this army. Don't feel like you need to use it. Keep it here. And you'll find the... Oh, Vinch, he just always needs to be doing something, doesn't he? He's leaving with the archers.
Oh, man. Yeah, this has been a shaky game for Vinchester, Dave. He's bringing the skirms home.
Sees it.
I like how Hera waited until he was close enough to the Vil so he could definitely get the snipe. Very well played. He'll be happy with that. He'll be happy with the way this game is flowing. And then in the middle, Vinch is going to lose his archers. Hera just seems to have the answers to everything Vinchester's doing in this game. And his civilization is just so much stronger.
He doesn't lose the archers, though. Hera doesn't have the armor yet for the skirm.
Yeah, true,
so once skirm goes down, the scout does go down, and Vinchester is taking out the archers. Stop hype casting.
Dude, I'm not... that's not hype. Do you want to see hype? I can give you hype later. But what if I'm not hype? If that's hype casting though, what is like this tone right now?
People watch you to fall asleep.
Hey, okay, that's only 12.8% of my audience. You
got the analytics
and it's only 12.8% because everyone else is asleep and they can't vote. So
yeah, you can tell who watches you to go to sleep by the people who actually watch the entire video.
No, that's not true. It makes me a little self-conscious, but hey, a view's a view, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, the double range is finally paying off for Vinchester. But look at Hera's farming eco. He doesn't need those berries anymore. A couple creative walls in towards the town center and his gold. Wood and everything else is going to be fine. Still could be some concerns in early Castle Age for Hera here against this Civ. But at this point, I feel like going into Knights is feasible in the long run.
If Vinchester clears up this army, he could just do the Hera thing and keep a skirm targeting like 12 of these farms.
Yeah.
And just idle all of the
farms.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a good point. But I think at least he's going to be able to click up first. And Vinchester dropping a market at home. Hasn't been the long rush, right? We haven't seen him really YOLO that much. He's getting some safe walls down at home. I think that villager on the right for Vinch is just double checking to make sure there's not a hole.
Hera's up first, but I like Vinchester's position more than Hera's. Like he has horse color on all these farms too. He got it right away. Hera does not, so they're gonna be expiring. And Vinchester still kind of has map control. He's not that far behind. Hera will go for his stable. Vinchester has the advantage in that his villagers are chopping wood faster, and the stable is being denied now.
Hera garrisons with a lot of villagers there. Archer just kind of skirts on by there and backs away. Definitely an opportunity here for Vinchester. Hera needs to be getting Horse Collar now. I understand delaying Horse Collar in Dark Age and the reasoning for it. Oh my god. Lion Train. Woo woo woo. On the left side, Hera's about to lose an archer to a lion.
He's done. He's done. He's done.
Woo woo woo.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, seriously.
Horse Collar's coming in.
But yeah,
right before
all your
this
new
farm
farms
expires, it's at like 5 food on it. He did the math.
Yeah, and adding more farms as well. That's the way to do it. Surprised we're not seeing Hera going too stable here. That seems to be the common play because you normally have so many resources when you get to Castle Age now. We'll see what Vinch does. Do you think Vinch is happy with how this game has gone thus far, considering the civs?
I think so. I think it just laming those 2 goats, even if he didn't take the elephant, is great. The ability to only limit Hera to 1 villager snipe, getting a random vill with your scout, and getting to Castle Age 12 seconds behind Hera, I think is really good with Celts. And you didn't abuse the market to get there.
Yeah, that's true. I also think there's just less pressure on you if you're Vinch. I know the pressure's still there, but like overall, if you're Hera, you're just thinking, God, game 1 was so rough for me. If I lose with Chinese against Celts, I'm done here. Right? Like that's a very present thought. At least it would be for me. I wish I could shut that thinking off, but
good tracking from Hera to know the archers were over there, and then he doesn't find them. He misses them. He had a sense that they were over here, but still, that means crossbows that aren't like sliding into your eco when you're busy with something else. The crossbows are now coming to the center. Vinchester's going to have those. He does have a stable, so he can add in some knights against the skirms, and he's going to go for the Celt siege.
We've seen this so many times from players, and it really freaks me out. Vinch, can we please get a gate on the top of your hill near your gold? Because you are 1 counterattack away from having to pull all your villagers off of gold.
Also, we've seen this a million times where Hera's just defending with skirms against like siege and crossbows, and he's fine.
But he's not in a setup to boom, actually. He went for 2 mining camps on gold, so he's really going to go like full knight, full skirm for map control, and I like it. Will mean that he will actually fall behind in villagers here, but his army options are just so much greater than the Chinese, and if Vinch doesn't have the crossbows, he's only going to have siege otherwise, and we know how siege does against knights. Hera's going to find the value he wants from this attack. Vinch is going to micro his heart out here, but this is amazing for Hera.
He's taking out a few skirmishers, so he's getting some value, and then he's going to take out a knight, but the skirms are right behind from Hera, so really, really, really good situation here for Hera, and good cleanup.
And this is the thing, like, what are you booming into with Celts? You don't get Arbalest, you don't get good knights, you have decent infantry, but infantry's tougher to get to. So Vinchester needs to find some better value, and there he does take a pretty good fight. Because Hera doesn't have a big knight mass just yet.
Almost stacked up those skirms for Vinch to hit with that mangonel.
Hera's going to try and heal up some of these knights. Still no +2 armor for him. If he were to get +2 armor, he could absolutely be taking the fights with just the knights. Still 1 TC as well from Hera. I mean, eventually, if he's not on Vinch's side of the map, Vinch might have a much bigger eco lead, and then maybe Woad Raiders or Pikemen or something could be mixed in here.
Gotta be careful if you're Hera. Crop shots can happen.
Right here. There's your example.
Crop shots can happen.
Here's the counterattack.
Knights looping around the other side. Vinchester, faster firing siege. He could get some good attack rounds. Need to hide that mangonel behind, or he could just sandwich him with attack rounds. But Hera is going to avoid them. Vinch is going to lose a mangonel here basically for free.
And now Vinch doesn't have...
coming back.
Vinch needs to get that TC down.
Wall,
Vinch is building a barracks in the middle of the map.
Wall, Vinch. Wall, please.
Just
wall. Don't let the knights in.
You're so good, Vinch, but you're making life difficult for yourself having to do this. But very well played. Avoidable situation there for him. But Hera still just 1 TC. Hasn't broken through. Doesn't have the biggest skirm mass. And now there could be pikemen on the field for Vinchester soon. And Vinchester has a chance.
These skirms are in a very dangerous position with this siege workshop. Hera doesn't know if there's anything producing from there. There's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, and there's 2 mangonels coming from behind. There is another way out.
Oh, man. Nice dodging here from Hera. Nice dodging from Vinch as well, man. The micro from both is insane. Hera probably feels like he's trapped right now, so he just goes in for the siege. He dodges the siege with the skirms. He goes in for the crossbowman. Vinchester wants a conversion, one he will not find. And so all the army for Vinchester will die. He's got a 9-villager lead, but for what? Because Hera's all over him.
Cannot believe Hera has any living skirms. I can't believe he didn't lose a single knight in that engagement. That was excellent play from Hera to dodge the first couple shots and then just come forward with the knights. And I think Vinchester didn't attack ground the knights because he thought Hera would pull back.
Yeah, yeah.
And Hera just went straight in, and now suddenly it's full pikeman here for Vinchester. The villager forward has died, and Hera will stretch out for that second TC, and Hera has full map control. Vinchester is still ahead by 10 vills. And Hera has wheelbarrow, apparently. But 10 vills difference is not enough to overcome this position that Hera has.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 10 idle right now, right? Hera can now freely expand and do whatever he needs. All Hera needs to counter this Vinch's situation is skirms. So he breaks through here.
And the knights are out.
Yeah. The barracks in the middle of the map clearly was an indicator that Vinchester felt like he had to have a good foothold in the front of Hera's base to have any chance here. And Hera has recovered so nicely here. I would expect the third town center to follow pretty quickly. And Hera finding some Vil kills in the back. Vinch knows it's here. He just has not reacted. He's too busy elsewhere. And that's going to be the Vil difference gone right there.
Yep. And another TC being placed here from Vinchester as the pikes try and chase these around.
Yeah, there's no real, like, strategy at this point for either because they're just going to stick with what they're going for. It's all executional things. And for Vinch, you're just hoping that you don't lose too many Vils and that the pikeman number can get large enough. But Hera does not hesitate to dive underneath the TCs because he's got so many knights with so many upgrades. And he's kept that original group running around very nicely here. And now the Vil count's even.
Like a situation against pikemen here where you have +2, where you're sacrificing knights under TCs, but you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care. You can just raid them to death.
Yeah, and those 3 knights still moving around. And Hera, still 2 TCs. But I think we might even see a forward castle from him at some point. Because he's heavy on stone right now.
As he kills villagers with the others behind. Beautiful.
And I think if the roles were reversed, we have the same thing happening. Because you've got one person with no offensive presence, just defending with pikes. The other guy's got Chinese eco, and you're going to just see them do dances all the time. Hera with the skirms, good position, pulls away the skirms, takes out the mangonel as well. Just keeps getting worse for Vinchester as he has to make another siege workshop. He does have 11 pikemen, though.
He does have 11 pikemen, but now there's more skirms on the field from Hera, right? And it's just, you mentioned the forward castle. It would look real beautiful right next to that monastery, ranging the gold and the stone and the TC and the farms and everything. And the production buildings.
Yeah, I don't think it's something the Hera necessarily needs, but he could absolutely go for it. I like how he's bringing his own monks forward, too.
4 relics for Hera already taken. There's just 1 left on the left side.
Nice. Yeah, so there's not a lot that Hera does not have right now. So question now is defensive castle for Chukunu, which can be great against Celts, or is it going to be an offensive castle? Surely it has to be a forward castle here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Vinch is just giving you the opportunity to place that forward castle. Now Hera has 2 mangonels. Good attack round on the knights there from Vinch, but it's not going to get him all that much damage. Hera takes out that mangonel. He'll trade 1 for 1, and then he can clear the pikemen with the skirmishers. And are the villagers coming forward? They are not.
You could tell he's thinking twice about this. He's like, well, I am winning. I could throw the game if I go for the forward castle. That's a decent shot there from Vinch, and he'll actually get another shot off, but miss, unfortunately, for him.
Ooh, nice attack round on the pikes there from Hera, but he does get some skirms.
Yeah.
The knights are being cleared up, and the villagers are coming forward. Not the best situation for the Vils to be there for Hera, but the mangonel production for Vinchester is not that fast behind, and he doesn't have any range units.
Yeah.
Hera just walls up the Vils here, so that castle's going to go up.
Vinch is hoping that mangonel produces faster all of a sudden on the right side, but that's not going to happen. Hera's castle will go up. With that, he will be up to the Imperial Age. And Chukunu, an effective range units against pikemen, but also an effective range unit against siege. Hera? He's okay, right?
He didn't fall off the villagers. He was thinking about it, and then he
He's
deleted
okay.
the house.
He's fine.
He is okay.
Poof.
But making things nervous for himself, like he could have just walled against the pikeman, then the castle goes up for free because there's no delay.
Yeah.
Before that Mangonel comes out. But there's the university for Hera. He's on the way up to Imperial Age. 83 villagers for him. Vinchester competitive at 81. But the army composition of pikemen, not it.
Yeah, it's not it. You're just stuck now. And Vinch knew this going into it, right? Like, he picked Celts because it was a risk. And we said, you know, if he loses this game, he says, okay, it was one of my worst civilizations. That's expected. Hera just wasted Chinese on Celts, whatever. But what a great job from Hera to bounce back. Or not really bounce back, but just take army control. Like, he showed us why picking Celts might not be so good. And he also had an excellent build order, right? It was 20 pop archers with Chinese. Very uncommon. Finds some value with the knights on the left side, as he also is going to go to the right side with knights and skirmishers. Vinch is just simply not able to keep up with all this army from Hera.
Fourth TC from Hera. Fifth relic incoming.
Yeah, he's got full control. And he'll be an imp in a second, so it'll probably just force Vinch to tap out. Because Vinch will see imp and realize that means Trebs are coming, and he can't stop trebuchets right now.
You can't stop a Castle Age push
No.
if Hera really wanted to go for it.
Hera's going to go for another castle, which is between 2 golds. And not like Vinchester's even taking the main one anymore anyways. Clear up in the back for Hera. Or, sorry, for Vinch. But again, he'll have bigger problems here. And surely we just see the GG once Hera's an imp.
Yep.
So here's the
3,
deal.
2, 1.
GG. Okay, here's the deal. You have to steal that freaking elephant. I'm not going to let that go. You saw the elephant. You saw 2 goats. You're against Chinese. This is exactly how the game should flow. Now, granted, I think Hera had a better build. Hera played better. But anyways, Vinchester.
Why was standard victory on?
True. Admin win. Admin lost for both. The score is now 2-1.
What on earth?
Wait.
Is that a bug with capture rates? Let me see in the game.
No, it's not
the
a
standard victory is on, bro. It's on. What on earth?
Hera could have gone for a wonder victory too. So, anyways, scores 1-1 here, but it's really disappointing for me that when you have your weakest civilization against one of the best civilizations and Hera's controlling it, that you don't try and just really get a big lead there in Dark Age. At the end of the day, Vinchester could say it's 1-1. He used Chinese. We said it all before, but that's just my final say on it. Hera looked really smooth, though. Like, it felt like he got his jitters out in that game that he might have had in the first game.
Yeah, and, like, he looked calm and collected. Like, not going up for those berries early and timing that until he had the archer range up was quite nice.
Yep.
So he could deal with pressure there. He still got harassed a little bit, but wasn't overly ambitious on it. And, yeah, Hera looked pretty strong with the micro, too.
Yep.
These civs both struggle in the same areas, though.
Yeah.
Like, they can't really go into cavalry, and that limits them quite a bit.
Yep.
And I think Ethiopians, I don't know which one's more limited. It feels like Ethiopians is, but then when you think about it, like Britain's lack bombard cannon in the late game, they don't have that Shotel option, but they do have werewolf trebs.
I guess if you look at pure tech tree options, Ethiopians might have more because of siege ram, because of camel.
But it doesn't feel
bombard
like they have
cannon
more for some reason.
Well, yeah, it's because their camels are kind of bad. Their infantry is only successful if their archers are there, and their archers are so good that is sometimes all that matters. A lot of things to think about there, but I expect an insane build from Hera here. I've seen 18 pop be the standard with Ethiopian archer builds, and getting the plus 100 food helps you economically or with fletching, and the plus 100 gold means you don't need to go the gold as quick. And if this is Archer v Archer, the last thing you want to do is go skirms, and you might have to if you're Vinchester because of the gold.
That forward gold.
And I say the last thing you want to do is go skirms because Ethiopians have faster firing archers, not skirms. And then like the Britain range is really only oppressive if they've got crossbowmen and not skirms. I don't know.
Unless you get yeomen.
Yeah, unless you get yeomen, and then suddenly that changes.
Fast castle yeomen.
Dude,
Skirm?
this is.
Oh, he didn't get the hit off. Vinchester didn't get the hit off on the scout, so now he can't take the 1v1.
Oh, I missed that.
Vinchester is forward once again with this scout. There's a rhino over there. Hera's gonna get that.
This is going to be a short game. Look at these wood lines and these golds. Like, I think Hera's map is just easier to play if you're going into archers because you have that wood line protecting your gold on the front. And Vinchester's is directly below a hill. Vinchester's berries are too, actually.
Did I just call that? I just called that elephant a rhino. We're doing the thing.
The score's 1-1. It's okay.
Yeah, we're doing the thing.
Which player do you think excels here more with the straight archer opening? I think Hera.
I would say Vinch if we're talking aggression. If we're talking defense, I'd say Hera.
Yeah, and he does tend to open defensively with it. It's weird. It's like his micro sets up his macro in a way where his eco becomes better because he created army faster than you.
Yeah, I think Hera's of the Viper mindset. You know, for many years, Viper was like, he's got that like hidden ego, right? He's pretty humble when you talk to him, but like you can tell in his playstyle, Viper just knows he's better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And as long as he doesn't take damage, he's going to be ahead of them. And I think Hera's got a little bit of that now.
Yeah.
Where he leans more towards defense because he knows if he doesn't take damage and if he's just massing consistently at his base, he's going to have a better economy because he's going to be managing it better. Managing the production and everything like that.
Hera just did something really interesting. So I was expecting the mining camp and 18 pop archers, right? He collected straggler trees temporarily to get the barracks, which will be his Dark Age building. This is going to be 19 pop man-at-arms, which I suppose isn't that ridiculous with Ethiopians, but still really fast, and I don't think that Vinch is going to expect it.
Hera still hasn't found these two goats, which could be an issue, but he's pushed in zebra and ostrich. I think he's pushed in all of them already. Yep, he has.
So much food, man. So you get the 400 food per elephant or rhino, combined with everyone pushes in the deer because they're generally pretty close, and the goats. This is part of the archer meta thing, right? You get up fast. If you can afford eco upgrades and fletching right away because of all the food, you're going to go archers. In a world where there's less food, it's harder to push deer or there's just boars. I think we see less straight archers. But I don't know. We would have to see like whatever the next tournament is, if it's 1v1, we'll have to see what happens if it's just boars and the deer are further or something. Because it might be the same thing. But we're not going to see archers for Vinchester, or at least he hasn't gone to gold yet. So we might see the famous scout opening of the Britons.
It's not men-at-arms here for Hera? He doesn't go to gold for the additional one. You can afford a men-at-arms with the 100 gold you get as Ethiopians, but...
Yeah, true. You just can't make the third without mining gold, which he hasn't done yet.
And he's going to run in... This is the heart drush right here. He runs into a line.
No, he's
split...
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was like, bro, you're clearly within range.
Hera did lose a unit to a lion in the previous game. Ended up winning, so maybe that's a good luck charm for him. I'm sure that has everything to do with it. Oh, Hera runs into the TC. It doesn't do a lot of damage, though. And awkward times for Vinch, but he'll be fine here because he's got 4 villagers. I'd be a little surprised if Hera engages, but then again, why do you make the militia? You're on the hill. Take the fight.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. Nice use of the hill there, and he's going to try and keep these militia alive and keep harassing, and it's a little bit of an ugly situation. And when you go up with 19 population, any sort of villager idle time is bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
This is funny, dude. Both players were expecting archers and going for skirms. Vinch goes range. I mean, maybe he was thinking stable originally, and then when he saw militia, knew it would be a follow-up archer range from Hera. But Hera didn't even mine gold. So he might make one archer and then just go for skirmishers. So
Hera's going to hate the fact he lost it. I know the militia aren't going to have a ton of value from now on, but they can force the first few archers to come back and chase them around.
Yeah.
And he just lost them to the TC.
Yikes. Yeah, because you want to do something with them, right? Attack
and if
a house.
open skirms,
Yeah.
like he is, they're actually useful.
But Vinchester made an archer first, and now he can't afford fletching. That's worth pointing out. He will need to mine gold to get fletching. And I want to look at Vinchester's vision. He does know about that gold in the back. I'm wondering if maybe he's just going to make skirms without fletching for now, defend, and then mine the gold in the back instead of on that hill.
He is going for the wall over there. And Hera was able to produce. He runs into the TC.
Okay.
TC's best unit in this matchup so far.
True.
Actually. And Hera's coming back with that scout. He wants to get this scout out of here. It's actually big value if he kills that.
And it's oh man, this could be so awkward for Vinch.
This is so bad because he's going skirms and it's like almost a full HP scout for Hera, and he's got the archers coming forward. Vinchester is going for the big walls on either side of his base, which means he will have that gold secure, like you said. But he still has to worry about that hill in front, and has to worry about this villager dying too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have the vision now on where Hera's going, and Hera... Oh, this is something that we didn't see from Vivi yesterday against Viper. You know you're going to kill that Vil, but you want to make sure your army gets through and that your opponent reacts late. Hera waits. Now he goes in. Now, I'm curious if he turns around with the archers or if he runs in here. I would run in, because this means that you don't have Vinchester's army running to your base.
Yep.
I was really smart.
If you trade 2 archers to give yourself like 2 minutes, that's great. That's amazing.
And now he can get away anyways, right? Because he confirms the army's there, so he just pieces out.
I think you should be using this scout to explore some of the map and then eventually loop it back towards that middle area. But he's going to keep it with his army for now.
Okay, so now in an archer war, at least in many of the games, we have seen a race to the market. Vinch's food count is actually looking good, but it's deceiving, as he only has 10 on food. Hera's got 12, so Hera will catch up. Will we see a market? Will we see a tower on the gold for Vinchester? Because that gold is still painful to look at. Town watch from Vinchester, though. I really like that decision here.
I don't think you need the tower until you see something else from Hera. I don't think you need the tower.
If you're Vinch, you don't know if Hera's walled. Do you even move forward here? It's Vinchester, so I guess he does, but...
He wants to use his units, for sure.
Yeah.
And, like, he's leading with skirmishers here, and the likelihood that Hera has made a switch after getting fletching into scouts with Ethiopians is very low.
Agreed.
So it's like, where's the risk here, right? Even if you come up against a bigger skirmisher army like this, you can just run away.
Yep. So we have more skirms on the field than archers. Both players expecting archers. Both great archer civilizations make sense. Does slow down their castle times, but at the end of the day, range units will be a thing. And the next decision these players are going to have to make when they make it to the next stage is, do they place their town centers quickly? Britons have cheaper town centers, so they can justify it. Is it ballistics for the archers, or is it siege against the skirms? Good find there from Vinchester, though. I think Hera would want to have that scout, but he did more with the scout this game than Vinch was able to do.
Yeah. I hate to see it, right? Like, obviously, players want to be using all their units to fight the enemy. But, like, especially when it's a weak scout and there's archers involved, so it can't add that much value.
Dave,
love to see it exploring the rest of the map. Yes?
Vinch is winning the market race. 2 villagers from both. It's close. Will Vinchester use the market fast enough, though?
I don't even think you need it for either player.
Honestly, it might be better to go second range, more army, than it is to go for
Vinch
the market.
sent a 3rd villa to the market.
Yeah, let's go.
Sell 100 stone.
100 stone. I still worries you if your opponent's faster to castle age and you can't tower. But he probably feels like, well, if I lose that gold, I'm losing the game anyways. And they have the same castle age time. I think Vinch is a second ahead.
200 stone.
Wow, interesting.
Is he adding a second range? Like, okay, there's the second range. He's gonna add a 3rd.
Second range from Vinch as well. We're looking at 11 army for both. We have lots of 1s on our screens. Okay, it just changed, but it's 1-1 score line. It was 11-11 with army. Vinchester now goes up to 12. And Vinch is using a spearman to see if Hera's walled or not. I like this, because he needs to have an idea of if he can range the gold or not. And he is going to send the archers to the gold, and he's going to leave the skirms at home. A little risky right now because he only has 4 skirms and Hera's moving forward.
It is only skirms from Hera, though.
Yeah, that's
Vinchester
true.
can
You
always
just
fall
don't want to
back,
lose
and
archers.
Vinchester is going into more skirms, so he's just going to play skirm here. He's going to play elite skirm.
I think with the amount of skirmishers out right now, as Hera finds a really good pick, and he could pick the archers too. I think with this many skirms, we will see a siege workshop from both players. It just makes so much more sense than ballistics.
Do we see a stable from one?
This
Just
is
a couple
amazing
knights
value
mixed
from
in?
Hera. Vinch
This
is
is
trying to be
crazy.
sneaky, so he has his archers hiding, but he really needed his army around right now. Like, he's losing so much army. And now the 6 archers have to get value. 12-5, now 13-5. And could get worse. Or, I mean, better for Hera. Worse for Vinchester here.
8 kills
annoying.
on these skirms.
Yeah.
8 kills on these skirms. And now Vinchester is coming forward. He's going to end up on that wood line, but he comes in before Bod can arrow or anything. He got impatient, Tristan.
Yeah.
He got impatient.
He's just he's distracted because Hera's up as well, right? He needed to place that TC, otherwise he's going to lose villagers here. And the engagements have
gonna
been
lose
better
vills.
from Hera. Now, Hera's going to be in a position to defend as well, and this is really not looking good for Vinch all of a sudden.
I mean, he did idle Hera off a wood line, and Hera's wood economy right now is looking really rough, but Vinchester just lost 3 villagers,
Yep.
4 villagers near that TC. EcoKitty is now 5-0, and Hera got elite skirm. So he's killing all of the army from Vinchester that's at his base. The TC is up, but Hera can just come back another day. And Hera's going to be feeling very comfortable with this. Crossbow isn't even in from Vinchester.
Let's see if Hera can finish this guy off now, though, right? Because Hera's going to have full map control. And for Vinchester, it's siege, defense, and boom. He needs that second TC right now because he's behind in Vills. Let's see if it's possible. This is what I feel about the series thus far, by the way. I feel like game 1, we saw the jitters from both, and it wasn't their absolute peak, right? But from game 1 to game 2 and 3, I think we've still kind of seen the same Vinchester, right? He's making some mistakes here or there, some sloppy decision-making here or there compared to Hera. But Hera
warming up.
has really warmed up here, exactly. Like, his micro's clean, his timings are perfect, there's no, like, in-game confusion due to the heat of the moment. And that's a worrying sign for Vinchester, because I could just see this going from, you know, a 1-0 into a 4-1 for Hera if this continues.
Hera just canceled Horse Color.
Really?
He was getting it, bro. He was thinking about it. He's like, nah.
Dude, you should
it's not worth-
you should absolutely get it. You have the resources. You're not spending it on
It's so
something
cheap.
else.
It's like,
so
what
cheap.
What else are you spending it on? You already got the second armor. Are you saving for like thumb ring?
Well, he probably won Siege, right? But he could still afford all of that.
Yeah.
Now, it is correct for him not to be reseeding a lot of these farms and not have auto farm on. He doesn't need that many farms right now. But like there, he places farms. You got to have horse color in those farms, bro.
Maybe he knows the game's not going to go that long at this rate. I mean, Vinchester is just making vills, and he's got a couple mangonels, and that's it.
Oh, God, Hera, that could have been so much worse for him, but he's got some weak ones in there now. I guess he was looking elsewhere, placing some farms. I don't know.
What was that sound?
It sounded like an excited sneeze. I don't know, man. That's what we call hype casting over here.
Sounded like some like pregnancy breathing tape. Oh, big shot from Vinchester in the army to the south.
Yeah, that's going to be an annoying hill for Vinchester to defend. Hera maybe needs to simplify things a little bit more and just stick to the hill instead of trying to have all these separate armies. I know he can do it. Don't tell me he's going to lose another unit to a lion. He's probably not looking there right now because the siege is firing, and Vinchester's done a fantastic job thus far, but he loses one, and he still hasn't killed Hera's on the hill, and he'll get it now.
Oh, he'll get another one. He's got to repair this, though. Skirmishers and mangonels attacking here. That mangonel does go down. Crossbows? Oh. You just got to right-click that, buddy. You got to right-click that, my dude.
You got to smarthy it.
Yep.
The lions are destroying the skirm still. And this does matter. Hera's still going to want some skirms on the field. Vinchester has a villager lead now. Hera looking to finish this game quickly because of the brutal gold spot for Vinchester. And we even see another siege workshop right now for Vinch. But I will say this. Hera needs to be repairing his siege if he's on the hill. The whole point of having the hill is that your opponent can't one-shot your mangonels if it's on full HP. So that villager that's building houses needs to repair.
These scrims in the back are brutal, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
I love the fact that Hera's run through here. He's still controlling the hill. And now he's in the back of Vinchester's base. Vinchester has to chase with mangonels and make a stable because all he was making was villagers and mangonels.
Hera dropping the second TC now.
He's not. The scrims are dead.
Nope.
Okay.
Focused on the TC is Hera. He's got 3 mangonels.
Focused on the TC is Hera. Yoda, dude. T90 Yoda. I like it.
I can't make noises and I can't speak like Yoda. Like, what's going on?
He is playing.
What's going on here?
Playing right now.
Sometimes you start a sentence and you realize it's not correct and you just got to roll with it. That happens to me a lot.
All the time.
Yeah. Big shot there from Hera.
Shot. I mean, I guess if you make 12 mangonels, they're going to get some value, right? Eventually.
Defender's advantage. Hill advantage. Vinchester with some pretty good hits. Hera loses more crossbows. He doesn't have crossbows anymore. What is happening? And remember, like, this is kind of why you get horse collar earlier, by the way, because eventually you might need better eco. But great job there. However, all of a sudden, as I again am overly excited, there's crossbowman for Vinch. Hera's going to lose his siege, and Vinchester has a chance. What is happening?
All of those shots. Never mind. He nukes him with a shot. The knight is doing so much work. High value there. He manages to kill the knight, though, and the crossbows for Vinchester need to back away. This is, this is tense moments. The KD is exactly 37-37. I know you'll appreciate that one.
Crazy defense, man. And Hera's not really, he doesn't really have much of a force now, right?
No.
He's got 2 mangonels, a monk, and 4 crossbows.
They need to focus a little bit more on either his eco earlier or the armies that were spread out around the base. But it proves that even Hera is human, right?
Yeah.
The crossbow's looping around to the gold. Hera has enough stone for a castle. And we can see a prime position here.
This is going to get really interesting because he was going to go for the town center. And then he realized, no. I need to drop a castle on that gold instead. Big shot!
Ooh, nice shot there from Vinch. That mangonel will go down, though.
Yeah, nice job from Hera.
And Vinchester does not see this castle. He could
deny it. He could deny it temporarily, but Hera has the siege. What a great game we have here. Looked like Hera was going to finish this off. Vinchester showing some fight to bring it back. Again, he does have Bod Canero, but Hera's castle is already 50% of the way up. And this will pretty much destine Vinchester to lose this TC, I think, if this castle's up.
The only thing I would have loved to see from Hera here, other than some maybe better engagements, is some outposts from the Ethiopians. Even some on the front.
Agreed.
So you know where the mangonels are from Vinch. Some on the side, so you can track these crossbows. So I think this was kind of unexpected for Vinchester to be over here with these.
They don't cost any stone now, right?
Yep. And they have
tons of vision,
yeah.
They were always underrated before when they did cost stone, in my opinion, especially with how you want to play with the Ethiopians.
Okay, but it feels like you can, if you have one villager building outposts to the south, you can control Vinchester moving out, especially if you're, contesting this gold at the front. And then a couple outposts at the top, and you can see the entire map. I agree. Exactly what he's doing.
Hera wants to go in with a forward castle.
Never would have happened.
On the bright side, I mean, he did react very nicely to it. The TC position was great, and his reaction time was great as well, as we have Vinchester with a miss. And, oh god, Hera has rolled too close, and okay, now the kill happens. But Vinch is nowhere near the Imperial Age right now.
Vinchester saw that monk, he thought about sniping it, and he went forward with the crossbows instead of revealing himself.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's going to loop around here on the left side with the crossbows, and there's damage to be done.
I like the Shotel Warrior there. That's really resourceful from Hera. He's also on the gold. Vinch is really distracted right now. Hera's bringing this game back. He still doesn't have a large army, but he's just got such a great position. And if Vinchester doesn't find some kills soon, there could be some regret on Hera's side for not making more skirmishers.
Outposts. No ballistics for
Of course
Vinch,
he doesn't lose a Vil.
He's not gonna kill any Vils because no ballistics. And Hera, well, the monk is still over there.
True.
As the university goes up.
Hera still needs skirmishers over here. He's just making crossbows. I like the fact he's making crossbows because Arbalest is the unit that's going to allow you to kill your opponent on the front. And that monk is a beast. He actually might survive. Unlikely,
Ethiopian monks
but
sound
possible.
so old, dude.
They'd say, "Oh," it's like their joints hurt. Sounded like me earlier reacting to the Mangonel shot.
The knights even passed by the monk. Come on!
Hey, listen, they might be old, but they are definitely wise.
He's sneaky, bro. He's oiled up.
I do not know what Vinch does. Like, I know his plan. And his plan is imp into a defensive castle and then trebuchets. I know he has more villagers. But unless he finds value soon, he might be in a rough spot. And he's going to try and find value with the crossbowman. And he's going to try and run right past the TC. But he's run into the TC fire too.
Yep.
Not what Vinch would have wanted there.
Not at all.
Is the monk still alive?
He sees that timing. He's on the way up to imp, but he cancels imp in the forward TC and he goes in the back. Well,
Nice.
That's probably a good
nice.
idea.
Yep. Hera's going to make a treb, and we will absolutely see bombard cannons. You can already tell with his resource setup, he cares more about bombard cannons than he does anything else. And he's got 3 relics in that middle monastery. Really good
Hera did
recovery
not
from
get
Vinchester in this game.
Yeah, it was really, really good mangonel shots, and adding the knights gave him a ton of value, right? And while that gold was forward, he now has a secondary gold he can take.
Mm-hmm.
Hera, though, has been doing the right things behind this pressure. He might have lost some armies, but he's been collecting the relics. He's been slowly adding villagers, and he got up to Imperial Age at a really decent time, and now chemistry is coming in. Still no ballistics, though.
Still no
'cause he wanted to
bracer.
go for chemistry. Oh, true.
Like, here's the deal. If there was ever a civilization that could use archers against bombard cannons, it would be Britons.
Mhm.
Because they have as much range when fully upgraded as the bombard cannons. So if Hera is just like getting relics and trying to expand his eco now, instead of killing with something other than siege, Vinchester's actually got plenty of time to make something happen here.
Well, there's one relic left on the map that Hera can take, and it's right beside him, but he doesn't realize it as he goes forward with the castle. Please do not nuke your own castle with this mangonel. Please do not kill your own castle. He's attacking the palisade wall.
He did kill his own Shoto earlier in the same way, so I think he's been reminded of the fact that that's possible. And yeah, this is what we're talking about. Great job from Hera. Has ballistics. Still no bodkin.
Still no bracer.
Or bracer, sorry, yeah. And he still hasn't taken out a TC from Vinchester. So Vinchester's got a shot. However,
Okay.
Hera is playing it extremely safe because he's got more resource control.
Hear me out. Against Briton archers, do you notice that you don't have bracer faster or slower? Because
You realize
think they
now.
have
He
more
realizes
range?
now. He's trying to shoot the Mangonel, and usually that's a really easy fight. He should realize there.
No,
But
no,
he's
no.
not.
No.
He's getting
he goes
armor
with
first?
blacksmith and he gets the armor. He
What?
saw that bracer was still available.
No, I think
Hold
these
up.
are just, this is an intense time, right? I think this is just a bit of a mistake from him. And again, something he may not realize. Again, an opportunity for Vinch to come back here.
Vinch is in the north with barracks. Outpost there would have been pretty pog.
Yeah,
Or it's an archer range. Sorry, not a barracks.
good pickoffs
Hera
from
shows up
Hera.
on the wood line.
Hera does have chemistry, remember, still firing much faster.
It is in the queue.
Oh, it is in the
Bracer
queue?
is in the queue after
Okay,
the armor.
yep, there you
for
go.
some reason. Why you would get the armor first and then bracer? Maybe he clicked it and then he
Could be a
did a
hotkey
mental
thing.
reset and then came back. Yeah.
Yeah. Players sometimes are too fast for their own good, and they just, especially when you have nerves, you don't really like think about it too much. But you said he did cancel horse color earlier, right? Like straight up
Yes,
canceled
he
it.
did. He did, and
That would be
I love this
helpful.
from Vinch. He's kept a knight patrolling on this gold to the left from Hera.
True. Siege engineers from Vinch as well, because he's going to be making trebuchets and wants them to get as much value as possible. I wonder if we'll
this
see
knight
torsion
denies
engines.
this castle, if this knight denies this castle, it's just the MVP. It just really is.
Hey, I wonder if this Civ had cheap outposts, if there could have been an outpost there, Dave.
Yep. No one's remembering it though. No one, like I've been watching people play Ethiopians, and sometimes people make like 1 or 2, but then they forget. You could cover the entire map with outposts.
Speaking
Legitimately.
of outposts, Vinch needs to be doing the same because he has no gold access. And to the south, there is gold. He could be taking it, but the knight has denied the castle. The Mangonel's there now as well. Vinchester has yeomen for crossbows. And that means they'll have some pretty insane range. That should be 11 range here in a bit. And he's got Siege Engineers for his Trebuchets. Hera could start to lose the middle control here. There's a world where Vinch could do this, but he still doesn't have ARBs.
Vinch still doesn't have that main gold. He doesn't have a secondary gold, and he has no access to any other gold. And Hera now has the armor for his skirms. He's losing the bombard cannons, but it doesn't matter if he takes out all the crossbows.
And Hera has resources where he could do virtually anything. Vinchester has been trying to get himself out of this hole for far too long. And while it could have happened earlier in this game, Hera, he has this one now. 5 relics. He notably must have put it on Conquest for this one, because we didn't have the relic countdown. But it has just been cleaner from Hera, more consistent from Hera, and Vinchester's going to be kicking himself for throwing away his army in early castle.
Yep. And coming forward with the archers in Feudal Age, right? And then Hera got that position with the skirms on the hill. Like, if the archers were there,
the idea is sound.
That ever happens.
The idea is sound to try and kill villagers on woodlines. But when you have a gold that exposed, just leaving your base can really cost you, and it did there. I wonder if Vinch is a little frustrated right now, man. I mean, obviously, you know, you want to fight on. But sometimes when you don't realize that your pop is this low and you don't realize that you're so far behind in score, that is a lack of focus due to the magnitude of the moment.
Like, he's got 1 TC.
Yeah.
All of his eco is on one screen. There is no access to gold, and he's TCing a stone downhill. Like, he should realize what's happening here.
I mean, I really hope this isn't the case, but this might be Vinchester breaking a little bit. Like, you know how Tato just looked defeated in his final game against Yo earlier? And then Vivi against Viper, for example? Like, I'm just seeing a defeated player right now. Like, he just does... Still playing, still trying, as you absolutely should, but how much of that is just because he doesn't see his pop?
In the queue.
Yeah.
From 2 TCs.
Yep.
And one of them only has 1 Vil. Queued up, so that's the situation we're in.
Hera getting horse color now. Thank you for that. Because one too many farms are expiring here. But yeah, I mean, to be fair as well, Hera isn't exactly killing the guy. Hera's just like, he hasn't gone that next step. That next step could be anything at this point. But we've seen GG's called over less for sure. I guess Vinch did just find gold, did just find stone. So he figures, let's just give it a go.
Yeah, he ain't killing, he chilling. And Hera's making the switch now into Showtells.
Hera's making more villagers than army.
Kill everything. I don't understand why, but it's fine. It's okay.
Showtells are fun. They're really fun. They can be good in large groups. The problem for him is he doesn't really have the castles. He's dropping another castle behind the castle he's just now about to lose. Vinchester, in order to kill the castles, is going to lose 2 trebs. And Hera still has 11 Vils in queue and doesn't really have a lot of army. A little confused at the moment. I think Hera's like, come on, Vinch, I've got you. But also, these guys are just trying to stretch out the airtime for us today, maybe. That could be it. There's the GG.
Hera almost lost another unit to a lion, bro.
Oh, man, what a game. Showtel's in the back, maybe were the killer blow there because they found the farms. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of just said it all because we felt this game has been over for a bit. Hera's been cleaner. He's been more consistent. I'm worried for Vinchester because games 1 through 3 has been the same level for him. The level for Hera has risen in game 2 and game 3, and I expect it to kind of stay there. You know, maybe Vinch needs to be more aggressive in Dark Age, try and get a lame, ruin the clean starts that Hera's been able to have in the last 2 games, and just make it a different type of game.
Yep.
But was still a very good game. I'm surprised it went imp. The fact that Vinch survived as long as he did is a testament to his skill.
Just the mangonel shots landing, right? Hera, I mean, I think he got a little bit too excited about the armies. He had like 4 different armies in different places against double Siege Workshop Mangonel. That's just a recipe for disaster, right? No matter how good you are.
Yeah.
You're going to get hit eventually.
I think that's just one of those spots where you have to use all your APM and just sit in the same spot. You don't have to be in 4 different spots and distract yourself. Just focus on it. But again, he got the job done. 50,000 resources collected. Hera in cruise control right now. The second game in a row where he's gotten 5 relics, which is extremely rare. But we are here This is going to be a mirror match. It is the only mirror that we'll have. I think all the other civilizations are different for them. Malians for Hera, and then Malians for Vinchester, and it's a very open map here, Dave. Dang.
And they're quite close to each other relatively.
Yeah.
So the distance shouldn't be that great as Vinchester comes forward with the scout. Is he going to try and lame again? Might find a goat.
Yep, going to find the goat. Now,
Goat
Hera
spotted.
is scouting the front of his base with goats, which you should probably want to avoid doing in tournaments where laming's allowed. But it happens so quickly. They're so close together that I feel like he's just unfortunate there.
And Vinchester knows exactly where Hera is now.
He should. He's going really far away, though.
Why is he going? You found
He
a
thinks
goat
that's
over
his
there,
goat.
bro. No, but there's only one goat,
Yeah.
and it was moving.
Yeah, I agree. If there's two goats, obviously it's a
Whatever.
patch of goats.
He'll-
But
you know what? He'll take one goat, and yeah, he'll take one goat.
well,
What is the resources? What is it spelling out for us from Vinchester? OTL. OTL.
OTL over the line? Isn't that
One time
outside the
lame.
lines? Isn't that like a documentary series?
Outside the lines, the true story between Hera and Vinchester.
That-
Both of them picked Malians.
Might be the next episode. People need to keep an eye out
Yeah.
for it. Not
the dark
sponsored.
Truth
Not
behind
sponsored. By
goat
the way.
laming.
Vinchester wouldn't have stolen an elephant anyways had he gone forward. And T90 still isn't forgotten. Game 2.
Titans League Season 3.
Oh God. Yeah, if that rolls around, I might need to do it. A cheesy WWE intro for it.
Are you ready?
To watch Samaro try and make fish traps on a land map. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Great intro to this one. We've had better, but certainly not our worst.
Yep.
3 on wood right now for Vinch. Remember, Malian wood buildings are discounted, so they save a bunch.
Hera went 10 on food before he even went out to the lumber camp.
I honestly really like it because it's probably going to be archers, like we said. Why do you need more wood right now? You're just the next thing you
Exactly.
need wood for is the mining camp, and you just need 30 wood for that. If
The
anything,
hunt
I
is
think
decaying.
If anything, I think that he's waited too long, actually, because those 2 villagers are not going to give him the wood he needs, so he'll probably go to the straggler. But
He'll figure it out.
yeah, it should be fine. All right.
That's interesting build, though. I get the reasoning behind it, right?
Mhm.
Like, your hunt is withering away. You're losing food. You don't need the wood right away.
Yep. And he's not going to need to go above 20 population right now. So soon he'll go out for the mining camp. Yeah, this should be good. What is it? 85 wood, I think, to get the mining camp with Malians. So he just needs 3 more.
15% discount. Checks out.
Yep. So
There's a barracks from Vinchester, and did Harris spot that? He did not that, as the scout comes around here.
and he might
Vinchester's
scout that
gonna
area
go for
last.
Yeah, Vinchester's going to go for the early infantry, like I said, and Harris probably just going to go for the range
hmm
defense.
Remember, this is Vinchester's sweet spot. This is what he did in King of the Desert 4. Meta has shifted away from it, though. Are we actually going to see him make the militia now? Maybe this is more of the frush, the French strush that Sato invented,
You click up,
and then you make 2.
you go for the militia, and then you go for the follow-up range.
Yep.
The militia are just there to keep your opponent's army at home, to keep the walls open, and then you follow it up with some units.
Thoughts on the wall that Vinch is placing right now instead of the wall to the edge of the map?
I mean, it feels cozy. It
Yeah.
feels way more cozy here.
Just
than the
easier
edge
to
of the,
place,
Edge of the
maybe.
map wall is like, then you can't quick wall in between your TC and the wood line. Like, even if your opponent bounces off of that, they're gonna have to go all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Let's see if Vinch can bounce back here. The last 2 games, it's been all Hera. Hera up 18 pop. It's going to be archers. Needs his barracks in range. Should be able to afford it with the amount he has on wood right now. Hera did not scout the barracks, or am I wrong on that? Yeah, he does not know about that. So it could be a concern of some kind. But Vinch can't seem to decide on his build. His villagers walk to the lumber camp. Now he makes one. And Hera's fast up time.
And he misses it. He misses those. He's coming under the TC though.
Ooh. Okay, so now I really like the cozy wall because With the exception of the berries, everything's pretty well protected. But, I mean, not from archers, though, right? Like, if you were to wall to the edge of the map, your wood lines are more protected.
All right, I'm on Vinch's point of view. He sees the berries. No mill there.
Just camp it, right? If you delay the mill, you delay farms. Is that a play?
Players never camp the mill, dude. They never do. They always have to be using their militia. There's one thing that pros hate. It's not moving their units.
Stagnant
constantly.
army. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would camp the mill, but I'm also in caster mode right now.
Yeah.
I think when you're in the game, it's more along the lines of what you said.
I think he's found some value here on the villagers, but Hera with a good engagement.
Nice
that
job
Vill
from
is
Hera.
half HP, but good stuff with the villagers here. The scout is still quite a bit of HP here from Vinchester, and he might be able to pick off some vills, and he's causing quite a bit of idle time, actually.
Yeah. He wants a Vill so badly. Gone are the days where a Drush is just for idle time. You want the Vill picks, and Hera's going to try and quick wall it, and he's not going to get it. He could build a house and trap this, though. Oh, but could he lose another Vill?
Vinchester, he can use the scout. He can lose another Vill. Maybe militia?
Ah! What do you even do?
You trap it in with another house. You're stuck in there now, buddy. Feast upon the body of your dead enemy villager. And Hera will now go deal with that.
Wait, and also behind this, we have scouts for Vinchester? What in the world?
I told you one of them might open scouts.
Well, you didn't specify that it would be militia into scouts.
I didn't think I had to.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I totally get it. I mean, I feel like the range follow-up does still offer more options for you, but this is going to be a big surprise. Hera has no indications of this. He does not think he needs to make spearmen. And he also feels like he needs to push out right now to attack because he's just lost 2 villagers. That wonderful play from Vinch.
He's going for the big wall, and Vinchester goes right to that woodline because he knows there's still probably some weak villagers hanging around in that area. His scouts will get there and might even kill this walling villager.
This is exactly what Vinchester needed, man. That was so good from him. And it all comes back to Hera not scouting the barracks earlier on. If he would have seen it, I think he would have expected it.
Or just pre-walling in his woodline.
Oh, Villager. Hera just had seen the stable and added a spear. That's going to be a dead Vill, and it's worth it to lose both scouts to kill it. Wow!
It doesn't even take a hit. Oh, wow. That's so... Hera's tilted right now. Like, he's tilted by this opening here.
I'd be frustrated, too.
Just at the right places at the right time. This villager is weak as well, although Vinchester stopped his scouts for some reason. And, well, he's got the cozy walls. He's got the range up. He's got skirms coming out. And now he's on the gold.
Wow. This has been the dream start for Vinchester. Let's see if he can close it out. Remember, I felt like Hera was really far ahead in the previous game, and it still went to Imp. Now, Hera has a tendency to be able to take games late if need be as well. So he's in stabilizing mode. However, we're not in a situation where you have a different civ bonus to talk about. You're literally playing as the same civilization. So it's kind of hard to play towards, some win condition your opponent doesn't have right now. Skirms are in the range for Vinch. That's Hera's only scout, so that is his best tool against any skirms. And I think that's why Vinch is trying to do this. Very nerdy from both of them. Because Vinch, you don't want to lose your scouts to the spear, but he kills the scout. There we go. And now the skirms are going to move forward. And we will have fletching in for Vinchester, but not for Hera. So again, just another aggressive move from Vinch. Hera now, I feel like he's behind, so he knows he needs to take risks. And I think he's just hoping that Vinchester isn't investing into army and that he can get away with rushing to Castle Age.
All right, here come the skirms. Hera's forced to kind of chill on these berries.
And he has no fletching.
Scouts are still just using their mobility, wandering around. It's the market for Hera, and he's going to be up faster than Vinch. But he has to abandon the berries, but still, being up faster with a decent amount of archers, Hera will not be in a terrible position. Vinchester, though, I love the fact that he's denying these farms.
Dude, this is rough. He's got 8 farms right now, and now 2 of them, I guess he's adding more. Some of them can't be used. He's going to say bye-bye to his stone, for sure, right? He's that far behind, he's going to sell it all.
Oh, yeah. 100% you have to sell it all. Yeah.
Oh, but
even then, like, if he wants to keep his TC running, oh, God, he's making more farms. He can't take food from those 2 farms. Great idling there from Vinchester, and that results in a similar Castle Age time as Vinchester is now going for the market. I looked at Hera's gold. I saw he had 300 food. I assumed he was going to have enough to click up, but he's forced to queue another villager. This is terrible for Hera. This is really not good.
The positive for him is that he has a lot of archers, and it's actually close to a point where, at least if he gets fletching, he can actually fight that off. So archer mass is kind of what I expected to make the difference in this game. And all the woodlines for Vinchester and his gold can all be ranged by archers. I would like to see like maybe some house walling towards the edge of the map in that area we talked about earlier from Vinchester.
And Vinchester, look at what he's doing with this scout. I love this so much. He's got it over there. And there's a reason he's got it over there, because he wants to see if Hera's sneaking out with the archers.
Yep.
Hera's shown him the archers here now. Vinchester dodges around those shots. And Hera's going to, delete the wall and come out this way? No.
Hera knows there's two of them as well, so he's like, crap. Can I leave?
Now with Malians, if you will save wood on the university and you can get ballistics faster. So maybe Hera's just going to play towards the idea
Finch sees
that
it.
he has more archers and he's just going to snowball through the middle with a better unit comp.
Finch is going to go a lead skirm. He knows he has the better economy. He'll go for the counter unit. He probably feels like Hera is all in here. Now, the units are not all together for Vinch, which is something that happened in previous games. But he pushes Hera back, and if he even kills just a couple archers here, Hera doesn't have that many to begin with. This is rough for the Canadian.
And Hera can't even really go for a stable or anything to deal with the skirms. He's going to need the ballistics, right? He doesn't need a siege workshop. The fletching just now coming in.
You imagine the leaders like, I said go forward, and they're like, but sire, there's skirms.
And now Hera gets ganked by another lion. Please go after the weak one.
Oh my god, that's 3 games in a row.
He goes after the one-hit archer. Oh my god, bro. Hera is just getting absolutely mauled by the wildlife in this set. It's game after game.
Well, Hera is doing the right thing here. He's going for the siege workshop instead of the university. He actually deleted it.
But that means Vinch is going to have ballistics with elite skirm.
Potentially.
So,
yeah.
Hera's not really going to be able to push this, especially with these 5 crossbows with skirms up on the hill now. Elite skirm is 10 seconds away.
Yeah, Vinch needs to just make sure he doesn't take fights before elite skirm.
This lion has 2 kills.
It's really bothering me, too. I always feel a little bit of stress when a unit's attacking me in the game. Okay, kill the lion, please. Thank you. Ay.
Tried his best.
Will
Monastery
Vinch
siege workshop for Hera and a camel for Vinch.
Will Vinch recognize that it's siege? Did that camel just see it?
No, he saw the monastery. He didn't see the siege workshop.
That's really weird.
No, he didn't see the monastery. Wait a second.
Is that a hotkey issue that Hera opened with a monastery?
No, maybe he thought Vinchester thought he was going into. Okay, bear with me. Vinchester thought Hera was going into a stable, which is why he added the camels. Hera went into a monastery because he thought Vinchester was going into camels to deal with his stable.
Well,
units.
the game's over now, so
yeah,
that's great. I mean, to give yourself any shot, you're up against skirms. You absolutely need to go for a siege workshop. But I think for Hera, the game was all going to come down to the crossbow timing, and Vinchester just bounced back so wonderfully here, Dave. All my concerns over his mindset, possibly, when the last 10 minutes of the previous game were just dragging on, have all disappeared.
You shouldn't lose 2 vills to a 2 militia rush. Even if the scout is there, you shouldn't lose 2 vills.
You got to wall it, I think, right?
Yeah,
just
you have to pre-wall it. Yep.
And I get it because the way Hera views the game, he's going to be like, 2 militia drush is useless. You should never take damage. And I get that there's probably a lot of instances where he can micro it off, but you are against Vinch now. It's not some, top player who's outside of the top 20 or top 30 on the ladder. So could have done himself some favors there because I thought his build was otherwise pretty good. Happy to see a quarterfinal, though, that is tied 2-2 in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of talk before this quarterfinal on who is the favorite. I think Harris maybe even still the favorite. But there's an interesting stat that I didn't bring up to you yet. So in the past 2 years in S-tier tournaments, Vinchester is 3-2 against Hera.
Yep.
And the wins and losses in the games, it's 10-10. So now It would be what, like 12-12 between these two.
Yeah, it's just a weird player matchup, right? Vinchester goes for the kind of non-meta strats a lot of the time, or creates his own meta and goes for early aggression, and maybe he's just good enough to pull it off against Hera, like we saw last game, right? The micro's good enough with the 2 militia drush. Maybe other people couldn't have sniped 2 Vils there.
Hera's not a real counter unit player. Like, he likes knight crossbow style. He can do everything, of course, but what I'm getting at here is the Italians can do that quite well. You might not think in this matchup, oh, Italians are going to go knights, but you might need some because the Lithuanians have their skirms. So Hera might play this similarly to how he played the Chinese game, where he opens archers, adapts that into knights, and I guess he went skirms that game, but yeah. I think Lithuanians have a greater peak in this matchup with their knights with relics, good monk tech tree overall, and then the fast skirmishers. Pretty nice maps overall. Hera is not going to have a backwood line to work with, though.
He will not. He's got a couple close wood lines here, but not having that back wood line is always an issue, especially if your opponent is going to be fairly aggressive. Vinchester basically only has back wood lines here. The front of his map is wide open.
Yeah, it'll be hard for Vinchester to get a full wall at any point, which could be problematic, whereas Hera can use those wood lines to get a full wall. So players will probably set up their bases a bit differently. Obviously, you're going to need army control, and I'm still curious on what exactly that army control is going to be. Let's think. Game 1, Vinchester didn't go scouts. Game 2, he didn't go scouts. Game 3, I don't think he did. And then game 4, he didn't either. So is this finally the first time we see Vinchester open scouts?
Don't run into the TC. Don't run into the TC. Don't run into... He ran into the TC.
He did. It could have been worse, but he went directly into the TC, even with the little heads up of the carpet there and the house.
Okay, do you trade that HP for these 2 goats? You're now plus 400 on the goat conversion.
Okay,
scale.
So you get the food on top of having extra food as Lithuanians to begin with. But I think, like the true mathematicians we should look at how much HP he lost per goat and see if it makes sense. So that is 18 HP, so it's 9 HP for goat. I think you take it.
It's 18 over 4. And then you add how much food did Lithuanians get at the start now? 100?
Plus 100, yep.
Yeah, 18 over 4, and then you plus 1 on the 4, so it's 18 over 5.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's worth it. I just texted Spirit of the Law, and he said the math checks out.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a video on it tomorrow. Yeah, I guess Vinch did go scouts in the previous game. Kind of forgot about that, but it wasn't like a traditional scout opening, which is why my brain didn't go there. It reminds me of the base that Yo had earlier with Frank's, where his wood's all in the back, but his golds could be exposed. But it's just so easy to play towards food and wood. And that could just dominate here with the Lithuanians.
That goat from Vinchester just snuck right by the scout from Hera. Oh boy. Hera's not going to be able to find anything.
Hera, talk to me. Hera doesn't know where his own elephant is right now. He went to lame.
Oh my god.
Oh, he still has a goat. He's fine. He's going to check the left, probably. He'll be fine. False alarm. But Hera and I had talked a bit before the qualifier, and he definitely feels like archer opening is the way to play majority of matchups. I don't think he'll be able to do it here. And, okay, there's the elephant. It feels like this is just at that point where he's okay. Still hurts,
yeah, I mean,
but
that's fine. That's fine. You just can't go for the super aggressive build anymore.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
It's
He'll
cheaper
just
for
play
him
a
to go
little
to
bit
the
more
next
defensively.
stage.
He doesn't care as much with his style of play, right? He'll just delay a little bit, get the range up eventually, and then he'll be fine. He is scouting the back of his base though, and figuring out that there is no wood. He sees one tree in the corner. That might be useful, and he's actually coming back for that. I think he wants to discover if there's a fallback plan.
Yeah, that's really smart, actually.
Yeah, so many people wouldn't scout that, and that's really nice.
So many people wouldn't go 17 pop scouts with Lithuanians and still have 700 food on goats remaining. This is... It's honestly so early, I'm still concerned he won't be able to get the buildings down on time, but I respect it, as Vinch is even going to push in an ostrich now.
Yeah, Hera also, I think, was looking for his deer, so that's probably another reason he was back there, or his zebra,
Yeah.
ostrich, whatever, and he's pushing it in.
Did
And he'll
Vinch
go up 19 population so late.
steal other goats that we missed here? I don't think he did. I think
No,
he just
he's
stole
pushing
2.
he's pushed in 2 ostrich now. Stole 2. He had the extra 100 food at the beginning. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm looking back. It doesn't look like Hera had lost any additional ones. So, yeah.
Vinchester's going to have a nice little cozy base here. He opened scouts. It should give him time to wall. Maybe he could wall around that gold.
Mm-hmm.
Another little compartment in the walls, potentially.
And Hera not on golds. This is something Vinchester sees. And this has gone perfect for Vinchester thus far, apart from the whole running into the TC situation. The barracks is up for Vinch, and he drops the stable. How are you ever going to hit the farms and the wood and the berries of Vinchester right now if you're Hera? Like, that setup is so neat and tidy.
You can't. The only way you can hit it is if you have, like, a ballistic missile or something, and you can go right over the walls.
Okay, I like what Vinchester has attempted here because his scout was weaker before. It's obviously still weaker now, but now Hera's is going to struggle. And Hera's in the dark.
Keep the scout alive. Vinchester, keep it alive. It's at 3 HP. Just keep it alive and scout the rest of the map, please.
Don't use it as part of the fight. I think he probably will, and I would be tempted to as well, but I think you need to keep that, especially as the Lithuanians, so you can get the relics.
Lithuanians, keep it alive. Find the relics. That's right. He sees 2 of them, so that's a good start. And those are the ones you want to contest.
Oh, Vinch. Okay, it's not that big a deal, but he did have 15 seconds of TC idle time. His eco is stretched. Look at the lumber camp.
15 seconds? No! Hera's going to kill goats. Sorry.
All right, well, now we have to do the math on if it was all worth it for Vinchester. Because he didn't benefit from stealing those goats. Well played from Hera there, though. That's a weak scout. Okay. 15 seconds has gone up to 20 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Big.
Oh, that's a villager difference, basically. And his eco is still not there to make scouts.
I think it's safe to say that Hera's going to have more work to do right now. Obviously, you know, he's got the better map if the walls go down. He's got an amazing map if he gets his walls down. But he needs to fight defensively right now. There's no opportunity for damage done on Vinchester. Vinchester's got more farms than Hera. Still plenty of food working there. And Vinch would love a Vil pick or 2 right now. Hera's
He's not going to find
scouts.
it. That's one of the one scout is 3 HP.
Yep. And it's going to die, and you're going to get really annoyed by it, and so am I.
It was already dead to me. It's Vinchester. I knew it was dead the moment I pointed it out. I knew it was dead. It was gone.
Look, like, for perspective, look at what Hera's doing with his weak scout. He's just scouting the map. Also, as much as players are going to recognize, oh, the opponent has more scouting, that's why his score is higher, you can't tell me it doesn't feel good to have a higher score. It absolutely does.
Feel good, and it does sit in the back of your mind.
Yep.
The only exception to that, I think, if it's a water map for me, and I know they're on water. He kept that scout alive.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, if they're on water. Wow, so Vinchester, he hasn't really accomplished too much here with this fast opening, and he's simply going to match Hera's scout numbers. One of Hera's scouts, or one of Vinchester's scouts wasn't attacking, but some decent hits there. Hera sees that gold. I wonder if he's tempted to continue to make scouts. Make like 2 or 3 more and just prevent the gold income from Vinchester.
Yeah, because Vinchester's going to continue scout production here.
Mm-hmm.
And like Hera's base is so open, Vinchester knows that. Even if Hera goes for full walls, which he kind of is right now, you can always run under the TC, try and get value. As Hera, with some good micro with the scouts here, has a bunch of weak ones. He's still exploring in the north, and he's finding another relic up there, and he's finding the relic in the left, too.
Yep, that's the score. Score's boosted. 300 score lead now. Got 7 scouts for Hera. 2 are weak. We have to remember that when we're looking at the stats. It's 5 versus 4 in this engagement, and Vinch still confidently taking fights. I think he recognizes how weak some of those are as well, and takes a really good hit. Hera kind of ran right into him there.
Vinch is still queuing scouts.
I would also
still
add
left the front of his base open.
Maybe it's too late, but it feels like a couple forward spearmen with Lithuanians could be really nice here as they take the fight. Vinchester, he's going to win this fight? He is going to win this fight. Very well played.
Yep. Hera is going for the full walls, but once again, he's leaving the front of his base open. If you see you're against scouts and you keep seeing more scouts coming, you gotta close this up. The scouts are thinking about coming through from Vinchester, but he loops around to the other side. Is scared of the Hera quick walls, I think. Hera's scouting is insane right now, by the way.
Yeah, great job from him. This is a matchup where being later to Castle Age, but having extra scouts in the field is absolutely fine. You do not want monks to get relics.
For Vinch, and Hera keeps queuing up scouts. How many times can we say scouts?
Probably a lot more.
A lot.
Weak scouts for Hera.
Yep.
He's got 5, but now 4 are really weak. And now he's got 6, but 4 are really weak. As we see bloodlines from Vinchester as well. Now, I think you back away for a second if you're Vinch. Don't show Hera that you have forging. And then you just dive the gold and hope for the best.
You add a second stable. Ooh. I was going to ask this question a while ago, but I guess you couldn't keep up scout production while get it from 2 stables. While
you dive through? Do you run past here? I think you do.
Vinchester
that tree's blocking.
Bait Hera. Hera does not go for the walls. And he's got forging and he's got bloodlines. And this wood line is open right now.
Quick wall at Hera.
3 weak scouts in here. 3 weak scouts. Vinchester will take this fight. He knows he has bloodlines and forging. Is he gonna even get a villager? He doesn't even get one.
Got him. Wait, and that scout could kill all the rest of them, actually. They're all so weak. Hera needs a monk right now. Wow. That was, in the end, not too bad for Hera.
Hera sees the second stable from Vinchester.
Okay, let me double click all of Hera's scouts. He has 115 HP.
Yep.
Of a potential 315 HP.
Yep.
This is a third of that army.
And he's pulled back all of the really weak ones.
Yep, huge. And he's up the Castle Age faster. Fantastic job.
Vinchester canceled bloodlines. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean, in the end, it was probably good because I don't think with bloodlines that would have been much better. So Hera only lost 1 Vil. Hera with the potential to kill a lot here, and the spearman from the Lithuanians scares him away. Okay, does Vinchester see how these weak scouts are chasing him and try and kill one? What do you do here, Vinch?
It's intimidating. It's just a posse. I don't know. You could definitely get the one in the front, but his friends are going to kind of screw with you behind. No, dude. And they gather around the kill.
Oh, wait. Scouts on the front. Yeah, no issue there.
Dude, Italian cheap uptime helps so much here for Hera. Like, Vinchester, if he was Italian, he would have already been up by now.
Yeah, I think like Vinch really stretched the limits with his eco. Yes, he was faster to Feudal, but that means he had fewer villagers working while he was heading up. Oh, now all the scouts could die.
No, he'll never notice. Hera's going to heal those up.
How many scouts does Vinchester have to lose? He has lost so many. And this is the dream game for Hera. You go light cav and you go economy, and Italians have lots of fun options against the Lithuanians too. Obviously, you're going to want to see monks for both players here, but Hera can get that ball rolling a bit faster. Light cav upgrade, armor, and a couple knights for him. Would like to see him decide on a monastery or a TC in front of that exposed main gold. Light cav will attack the barracks for the time being. That is probably just for vision. Hera wants to know if there's going to be spearmen out because he knows the potential and he sees it now. Might even take that fight, honestly, before pikemen. I think you could take it. Hera not choosing to take it, now decides to run away because he was distracted killing another scout from Vinchester on the front.
Hera is still chilling with these light cav, and he's going to heal them all back up. Of course, because it's Hera, right? Just Hera things.
Really good to do that.
Vinchester runs away with 1 HP. The light cav will continue to get value here against Lithuanians because Vinchester will likely go for a monastery to grab these relics. And it's just not going to happen with Hera controlling with light cav. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like the timings for Vinch are just, they're just off here. Like, if you're going to go pikemen, you need to have 8 to 10 spears right now. And a second barracks. If you're going to go knights, your opponent already has 4 knights. Italians have the Genoese crossbowmen later. It's not like they lack options in the long run. And Vinchester's had to make a lot more scouts due to how many scouts that he's lost, which is sinking him deeper and deeper into this type of an investment. Great recovery game from Hera. TC and Monastery for Vinchester. There go the scouts now for Vinch, but Hera's waiting for him. And Hera's just protecting that monk there. Hera, again, just playing perfectly.
Dude, I thought Masters of Arena was in a few weeks. What's going on here?
Yeah, seriously. I have a feeling...
Monks?
I don't know if you've looked at the maps at all, but I think we're going to see a lot of atonement.
I mean, that's better than the light cav monk meta, to be honest. That's like so stale.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh, the knights are in, bro. The light cav are in, and oh man, Hera doesn't have that +2 armor, but I mean, Vinchester doesn't even have fletching for his TC, so Hera just says thank you very much. He takes 2 vills, and he's out. And every time Vinchester comes in here with these light cav scouts, Hera has been countering him. However, he's going to be able to snipe 3 monks.
Yep, absolutely
and he'll get away.
is. Yeah, well played. Light cav pays off there. Hera happy to take fights, though, against the spearmen with the knights for the time being, but now here's the Wololo, and now backs away. Hera has killed 3 villagers. And now, Vinchester with the quick wall there to save his monk. That was clutch. Oh, God, but now the other light cav could kill the vills.
Nope, but he's found the TC. Vinchester trying for another quick wall. He doesn't get it.
Uh-oh.
And Hera will find some more picks. Sanctity now coming in for Hera, for his monks. And more light cav going down. Vil, don't keep that gate alive. Oh, it was open, bro. It was open, but he didn't go in.
Yeah, he might not want to get trapped in there, right? It's greater value to stay out here. Vinch loses the TC. He loses all the wood and the stone there. He did not delete that.
God. Oh, God. It's just getting worse and worse and worse for him, isn't it? This is the type of game Hera needed to bounce back on, though, after the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is felt as inevitable for Hera here as it did for Vinchester right when he found Hera's archers before Castle Age. However, obviously Vinchester in a position to put up a little bit more of a fight, but we'll see. I mean,
0 relics collected.
That's
Hera
true.
Spent his, I mean, maybe you could have made the argument that Hera, instead of healing those light cav right away, should have gone out for the relics.
Yeah, that's true.
Fast.
That's true. At least get a couple.
Yep.
Hera still just has so many light cav where he should be able to patrol over those relics.
Don't tell me that like the lack of night production here, because Hera's trying to queue vills and stuff and going into Omega light cav. Don't tell me the lack of night production is going to kind of bite him.
Think
We're looking at
he'll
this
be okay?
force coming across with Vinchester. He's snagging 1 relic here. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to that, but he's going for the 2nd relic over there as well. Hera's light cav are kind of out of position, really out of position at the back of his base. And Vinchester will probably get a relic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna get 1 or 2, yeah. What Hera really needs to think about here is his stone timing. Because this is where, when you've got 60+ villagers, and you could be all in because you're ahead, this is where you've got to think about getting a castle up. Especially if your opponent's making cav as well. As the Italians, Genoese crossbowmen are fantastic. Surprised he hasn't gone to stone yet. And Hera does notice. I was just starting to worry for him that Vinch could start bringing this back with a raid. Hera quickly drops the houses there on the right side.
Keeping a light cav patrolling on the left side of Vinch's base. He managed to snipe a monk. Vinch will simply go for that TC again.
Could be denied again, but it looks like Vinch will at least have a heads up to be able to wall it. 76 vills versus 58. And Vinch is currently pop capped. He's struggling. This is not going to get better for his vill count either. Hera with a commanding lead. And still not a big army for Vinchester, so he can't really threaten Hera right now.
Yep.
Hera's gold count's pretty insane here. Like, buy some stone, drop a TC on the gold, drop a TC on
28
stone.
on food, too. Like, if he just waits a second, or a couple minutes, he could go up to Imp in addition to that market.
True.
But he doesn't have a market. Just building it now.
Yeah, he'll balance out some things. I think with the way this game is flowing, Hera's happy to stay in Castle Age for a bit longer. Because going Imp doesn't give you much here. Like, you could go Hussar with Italians, but I don't know if that's the unit you necessarily want. This is kind of funny. The Spearman for Vinch went to the left, and they lost one of their friends, but the monk had to convert to spearman, slow it down, and now that's going to be relic number 3 for Vinch. Well, maybe, because here comes Hera's light cav.
I mean, Hera could go in for block printing at this rate.
True.
Block printing help.
I think I would even be okay with Italian pikemen. You rarely want to go pikes if you don't get help, but...
Hera?
He's got
Just
it.
let that monk right through?
Watch him throw it past the houses here. He's going to chuck it. Oh! Oh, man. Light cap from Vinch.
Oh, boy. 3 dead monks. 4 dead monks. 2
Uh,
converted light cav. Just add it to the army. Add it to the light cav army for Hera.
Hera on stone now, thinking about the Imperial Age, adding a second building. Has a 30 eco lead now. Still don't see any way back for Vinchester.
34 on food for Hera, looking really impressive. These lazy men on Vinch's economy finally going out for the relic there. He's going to bring it back, and somehow 3 relics. Hera had 10 light cav at one point, Castle Age, and Vinch still grabs 3 relics.
That's pretty impressive. Like, Vinch has done a fantastic job not dying when he should be dead, right? But when the series is concluded, the only thing anyone's really going to care about is who wins. Like, when Hera's lost, it's like, okay, that didn't work out. This is not looking so good.
Okay, it's forward castleable soon for Hera. I don't know if you want to go for it, but once you have maybe 1 castle at home, and then the second one you can think about going forward if you take help.
I wouldn't mind a middle castle there. Protects your stone and is also a good offensive position. It feels like that area is important.
What are you doing here in Imp if you're Vinch? Because he's about to click up as well.
Well, as it stands, you're probably defending, right? And he's probably confused on what Hera's going for. He actually did not notice that there's additional barracks. He's probably not expecting pikes. I think he is going to think maybe he needs skirmishers because Italians would normally go for Genoese crossbowmen. I don't know. He's definitely putting some feelers out there to see exactly what's happening with these light cav, but he just hasn't seen much because Hera's kind of hiding it all. I wasn't expecting Hera to go pikeman when I said I wouldn't mind pikeman. I was thinking more Castle Age. But maybe Hera doesn't have faith in the Genoese crossbowmen.
So Vinch has explored everything except that relic and that corner.
Oh, true. That's disappointing. Yep.
Could have 4 relics right now, and he's the one coming forward for a castle. The imp timing from Hera might save him, actually. If I'm Hera, I might even want Vinch to
just
complete
don't
this castle.
Well, I guess if you can deny it though, you'll still do it. But I totally see your point. This castle might not be so good for Vinchester. And oh god, those villagers are so exposed. Knights are switching sides for both players. The castle's at 50%. The knights are stronger for Vinch. And Hera's pikemen are pretty slow here.
Here comes the monk. It can deny. But what's the follow-up here for Hera if the knights from Vinchester just completely wipe his army? And that's exactly what is happening. Hera is late to that castle. I guess he sold some stone at some point.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Something along those lines, because this castle should have already been up. I was fairly sure he had one. He had the stone for a long time.
Is this throwable for Hera? He's had control over this game for so long.
He didn't have the stone. I thought he did.
Like,
weird.
Feels like Hera's just going to go Trebs, and then he's just going to raid with Cav, right? Like, he's going Cavalier now with the Italians. Interesting.
Against Lithuanians with 3 relics. Potentially 4.
Yeah. I think at this point, Vinchester just assumes there's no way there's a relic up there because Hera's had so much control.
It felt like this is a play where it feels like it's got to be Halb bomber cannons right at first.
Well, he doesn't get Halb. He doesn't get Halb.
Oh yeah, true.
But
he did go. What Civ I thought he was.
But he did go pikes, right? So like,
true.
The timing in which he went pikes, as there is a hole. Don't tell me Vinch has a chance. There is a hole here, and Hera's gonna have to deal with some Cavalier raids. But yeah, the timing at which Hera has done things has shown me he's a little bit unsure on how to handle various aspects of maybe the situation, the civilization, what have you. But this is giving Vinch an opportunity. Vinch has a lot on stone. He's going for Trebs to try and push the middle position for Hera. And Hera's got quite a few idols right now due to these raids.
And it's not really a position, especially with your castle being trebbed down, where you can go into like Genoese.
Yeah.
It's not even in that position right now. He's getting block printing. I think Hera's kind of confused on what unit copy wants to go for here. Vinchester just raiding at the back. Hera will deal with that with the cavalry. Still significantly ahead on villagers.
Yep.
Over like 40 villagers ahead.
And Hera still should be able to make army to take the Trebs out. He should be able to, but all of his army's in his base right now. So because his army's in his base, he could possibly lose the position. But you could see now Hera is going to try. He's also really attentive with his monks, and the block printing upgrade can help him get conversions. A Vinch in and out of that castle, too. Very impressive. He tries again.
Is putting all of his stone into repairing this castle, too.
Seriously,
so he can't even
dude.
get a second castle for Treb production.
What? I mean, it's possible. The Vinch has a chance now. Hera's really given him a fighting chance, but Hera's army's bigger now.
Yeah, Hera could snipe all three of these Trebs.
Vinch will pop out.
Still no fletching. He has no fletching on the castles, Tristan.
And if the Trebs go down...
They're doing no damage at all. The Trebs are going to go down.
Hera will lose his castle, but does Vinchester have a way of stopping Hera's Trebs from taking out his castle here? I don't think so. What in the world? There's still Trebs there, actually. What an interesting game. Like, Vinch's eco is horrible. He's got 3 on gold. They're behind this right now. He's wide open to raids.
Just because there's a hill there on the left side doesn't mean you have to put a castle in it, Vinch. I see the idea behind that, but like now the raids are coming in on this side, and I think you would much rather have a castle over in this direction.
Yeah.
To maybe secure some of this area.
But, I mean, to be fair, a fallback castle on either side, you're dead anyways, right? Hera's economy is so far ahead. He's got varied unit comps. Like, pikemen still do bonus damage, still help, still has monks. I think that even if he castled that right side, that Hera would just pick the left. And Hera's always going to push the middle here. There's no stopping that. A great fight back from Vinchester, though. And it's possible he will gain some confidence because he could think, I should have died way earlier in this game. If that's the case, if I don't fall behind in Feudal Age again, I can win the next 2. Which he'll have to at this point. Right? Because otherwise he's not going to move on to the semifinal. So, good move from Hera here. Clearly not too comfortable with the Italians. There was a lot of confusion there. But I do not know how you stop this push now. Ideally, you go skirms or something, or hand cannons, but you just don't have the time.
And we've got block printing monks with Hera's micro as well. So, like, your latest are going to get converted as they come in here. The Trebs, you're going to have to dive. And if you dive for the Trebs, and it looks like Hera might be thinking of setting up a nice little cozy area for his Trebs with those houses. Maybe. Or he's just going to...
Just vision.
Make houses,
just a building for the enemy to patrol into because units attack houses. More stables. I could see Hera going Hussar. And doesn't need Hussar. It feels like his main army is still so strong. Vinch super far behind here. Almost 4,000 score. He's going to try and raid Hera. But, I mean, Hera's killing him as well. So, I guess maybe the forward villagers were the target here.
Okay. Villagers coming for a castle. And look at Hera's resources. Like, you're Italians. What do you even spend that on?
Like, more cav and more pikes.
Yeah, maybe.
He doesn't have a castle, so he can't make Genoese. But, I mean, more Cavalier is better than the Lithuanian Cavalier, right? Numbers matter here. Not just the attack. And Hera's understood that for a while. He's got 32 versus 16 from Vinchester. And Vinchester's going to lose his relics as well pretty soon if this continues. Vinch is hoping that the 3 relics will give him one final fight here. But surely, if you can't take the fight right now, you've got to be feeling like you have very little hope. The last time...
basically countering Lithuanian cavalry right now, just because of the numbers.
Yeah. Latus can ignore armor all they want, but they're just outnumbered. And you only have 1 castle, so... Vinch needs to probably tap out of this one. This is definitely GG, and he calls it GG. So
3-2.
3-2 for Hera. Vinchester will now need to win 2 straight to move on to the semi. And that was just as clean as can be from Hera. Like, honestly, I felt like he was going to have to work so much harder in this game. but it actually looked like it was Vinchester who had the tougher time, right? Like, there were so many weak scouts that Hera was able to save. So many engagements, which ended up helping him in castle. But the castle time, man, it was 20-28 for Hera and 22-44 for Vinchester.
He had villagers still in the queue. He was at 700 food, and then he placed a market and waited for it to go up to like buy food.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those instances where if you just idle your TC a little bit and unqueue the vills, he'll go up. And then you don't have to deal with Hera trying to get in with knights when you're still in feudal age, right? Like,
and he just had a tiny little space as well. So I think Hera having more space actually helped him to be more bold and more expansive with his farming eco in feudal. That combined with the cheaper uptime, obviously, with the Italians is very nice. But yeah, if we're just going to see scout v scout here, I think Hera's probably going to win these matchups quite frequently. So Vinchester, I know he has Mayans available on his draft, so that won't be scout v scout. I forget what else he has here, but obviously he's got to go for his home run picks at this point. Turks versus Huns, and the maps are fairly wallable, but a pretty fair Arabia version here. Nothing crazy.
Okay, I got to switch. I forgot to change my scene, but nothing new about that. And we see Hera's map here. You may have already mentioned it. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, Tristan. It happens. I actually don't mind it. I like it. It's got 3 wood options. Pretty wallable, especially if he goes to the TC on the other side. And then we look at Vinchester's map. Wood lines forward, brutal, actually.
Yeah. I think the fact that Hera has 2 backwood lines is nice. It is weird because if the Vinchester were to be more towards the south where the camels are, it wouldn't necessarily be considered backwood lines.
It's a little dimply over there by his berries, isn't it, Vinchester?
Yeah, both players have...
It's like slalom, like, you know when you're on a ski hill and they set up the slalom? What is it called? Little.
I don't know what you're describing. Dimples on a ski hill? What type of ski hills do you have in Canada?
No. They set some slopes up with the little the moguls. That's it. The moguls.
Like the...
Not the Mongols, Tristan. The moguls.
Oh, I was thinking Mongols. Damn. Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I do not know what you're referring to.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not the most experienced on the slopes. I snapped my arm in half and never have gone back since. So,
does Florida have a hill?
I think the highest point in the state I live in is a landfill, but there's no snow, so I wouldn't encourage you trying to ski there.
I wasn't asking about snow. I was just asking about a hill in general.
No, I'm dead serious.
Dude, you got that you got that Dutch level of elevation.
I'm dead serious. I remember I'm picking my parents up from the airport and we're driving back to my place and my dad goes, "Ooh, a mountain." I'm like, "No, just wait till we get closer. That is actually a landfill." Yeah, no elevation here. So here's the thing that can sometimes be a problem for Huns. You can't make houses. And yes, that's a wonderful bonus when the game gets messy and aggressive. Mm-hmm. But if a big army is coming in towards your base, it is much easier to quick wall with houses or to just fortify your palisade walls with houses behind. So I think for that reason, Vinchester needs to always have more army than Hera and needs to be the aggressor here. And he kind of tried the same in the previous game, but then Hera somehow ended up with more army after some great defense.
Huns were always my nemesis on controller player because just for the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, it was good that I didn't have to make houses, and it was one less task that I had to pay attention to as the zebra goes back from Vinch. That's really annoying. But also, I never could quick wall with palisades. It's too precise to do it, right?
Yep.
So the houses were way easier for me. And yeah, it was rough.
I mean, makes sense. I just don't want Vinchester to get sucked into this trap where he thinks, okay, I'm walled now. I just go faster castle. I think with these wood lines, just make a ton of army and then assess the situation, control the game with army, and naturally make your way to castle age. Especially on these maps with Hera's berries, with Hera's wood lines, maybe depending on how it plays out. Just having army control is going to be so nice. Like Vinchester, there's been previous games, Britons, Ethiopians. He's faster to castle age, then he loses his army. And then he has big problems.
Is this the 2 militia drush into, or is this the frush?
Frush scouts might even be better here. than it was in the Malians game, honestly. I think maybe it's similar in terms of how the civs play out, but yep, there's Feudal Age for Vinch. We'll see if he makes Militia, but certainly feels like he will, because the barracks wouldn't be up at this time otherwise.
Well, I mean, you could use it as your second building, right? Instead of the mill.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I can
There
tell
it is.
how long someone has been like back to Age of Empires 2 based on their opinion of Huns. You have people that are like, Huns, Craigasm. Oh, Huns are amazing. Then you have people that are like, Huns suck. I don't like Huns at all. Why pick Huns? Huns is a
Those
throw.
are DE kids.
Yeah, the
Those are like
DE
that.
kids. You don't even know, guys. You don't even have the feeling we have.
Those are the Gen Z. There's the Zoomers. What do we call them? TikTokers?
I don't know. I don't know what you call them, but I can tell you Hera sees the barracks. Does he see the militia here? Probably not. So that could be huge. He is crazy walling, though. Holy.
Mm-hmm. And this is the walls that we wanted to see come down from him, right? He's left that other side open, but what are the odds Vinchester loops all the way around that way? He's fine with this.
The walls kind of counter this type of play, don't they?
This might be an instance, though, if Vinchester sees this many walls, where he can add... No, he hasn't gone to gold. He is going to go for scouts after this, so he can't even do that. I was going to say it might be an instance where you add a few extra militia and go men-at-arms. Like they were improvised, kind of drush into men-at-arms, but he hasn't gone to gold. He was going to go for the scouts, like you said.
Wow. This is
Drush
crazy.
into scouts, and Hera is going to be full walled.
So I guess you just attack the house now. Try and break through, do something. I mean, normally there's a positive in that Hera can't get an eco upgrade or his range is delayed, but his eco setup's actually perfect. Well, as I say that, I think he'll have idle TC in a second. Actually, he will have he could have some significant idle TC.
We are walling like that, Hera. Are we doing that now? Really?
He's become MBL. This actually is not, in my opinion, that worth it for Hera. But as I said those words, I take it back, Dave, because he did lose 2 villagers to this last time.
Oh, look at what Vinch is doing. Vinch is...
Ooh.
Okay, this is the old school approach here. And Hera hasn't spotted those vills. So Vinch is sending 3 vills forward. He's going to go for a tower. This is the old school way to deal with someone that walls like this. We used to have... I mean... The community used to have names for people that walled like this.
We won't use those. We won't use those names. and you say,
and the way to punish it was towers.
And you say, you know, classic approach as well. This was also the classic thing Hera struggled with for years. When it was more meta, towers were a bit cheaper. You just don't see it as much these days. And the reason for that is straight tower rush just leaves you exposed at home. So, you know, Hera would just counterattack if it was only a tower rush. But it's not only going to be a tower rush. That is just a tower to deny a woodline. It won't kill Hera, but it will delay him and frustrate him in the long run, possibly, and be a good position for Vinch to keep an eye on in the long run.
Please wall this up. Oh, no, he's going to the stone, so he doesn't need to wall it up.
Yeah.
Is he going to make a mining camp here and just continue on with this? He is. Now, can Hera see that because of the vision on the tower? So he knows the mining camp is there. I would have made the mining camp on the other side of that stone, just for that reason.
That's true. You know what someone asked me the other day? They were like, T90, can you tell the story about what Dave did to your Voobly profile?
Oh, the Orange Juice Award? Oh, no.
The Orange Juice Award. Did I get that?
No, my friend gave me the Orange Juice Award.
Oh, okay.
The award the medal that I gave you, using my mod tools in exactly the right way, was a tower on your profile, and it says dies to a trush.
It can't deal with trush is what it said, and you drew it in
yeah.
paint. It was like this little drawn stick figure underneath a tower. I swear
And
to
the
God,
thing
I got
about-
trushed so much more because it was very common to look at someone's profiles before you played them back then.
Yeah, you would always look at a profile, and the thing is you couldn't edit the little medals on the side of your profile. So that would be like, you know, if you won a tournament, you would have a little medal, and everyone could see that you came first, second, or third in a tournament. But you couldn't edit it, so it was like a prestigious kind of thing, you know? But me, as a mod, could do whatever I wanted with that. So
Yeah, that was...
I would just add random medals to people's profiles.
I wish we still had that photo because it's funnier than how it sounds. Oh man, big moment. Skirmishers coming forward for Vinch. He did get Town Watch.
Yep.
But will he react in time here? Because Hera's got fletching, and Hera could
does.
win the
No,
series
he
right
doesn't.
here. Finch doesn't notice. Oh, this is going to be so bad. That's at least 2 vills dead, if not more.
Yeah, it might be 3. It might be 3. Hera, though, getting that one, and it's not going to be 3. It's only going to be 2 Vills. Vinch is going for big walls. Hera might be able to stop this with the scout. He does not, though. Vinchester, great job over there. And Vinchester continues to push in on this side. He's got skirmishers. He's got enough stone. Oh, the tower's already going up.
No, he can't build a house, Dave. He can't build a house. The archers are going to go through. No. Oh, God. This is what we're talking about.
Tragic.
Also, how did the skirms get beyond? Was there a hole there? Oh, God. The skirms for Vinch got beyond the walls and now we're trapped.
There was a hole. The villas were blocking it now.
And
the tower is just looking at the villagers, Tristan.
It's an awful tower.
It doesn't have fletching, bro. No!
Dude, like, people use the range mod for a reason these days, right? Because you got to know that that tower is going to do something. Now you're just losing villagers left and right. You've lost 3. And the tower was such an investment. And there's also 3 villagers just standing there. And, well, Hera, he's played defensive. He's played calm. He's played collected. And he absolutely does not need to worry about this tower until he chops a few more trees, I guess. And he's fine with that.
Fletching, Vinch, you have no gold. He's got no gold.
He's no res. This is, yeah, it's all falling apart.
Fletching would help these towers so much. He could range both woodlines with that.
I honestly, like, this is what I think. Again, another example of Vince trying to do too much and moving out with army. If his skirms just sat at home, he never has any problems. Obviously, he maybe felt as though he could lose his forward villagers when making this still useless tower. But he's ready, dude. He's ready. He's getting fletching.
He's in there.
He's waiting.
And Hera sees it with the scout.
Yeah.
Of course he does. Why wouldn't he?
He didn't
but he
know
didn't
was
get attacked, so he didn't get notified by it. Archers are coming over here, and fletching is in. And now Hera needs to move, and Hera needs to find himself a different woodline.
Well, he's already
and
there.
Their only woodline is back there.
Yep, he's already there. Vinchester's still no army at home. He's probably frustrated with himself, and it's not going to get any better. Can't help but feel like an outpost. Just one outpost if you have Town Watch would be so nice.
Hey man, you know what? I've seen oh god, I've seen some things now with Vinchester losing 2 vills. I was about to say I've seen Huns come back from some ludicrous positions.
Yeah.
By just going all in, but the market coming up now from Vinchester, 17 food in the bank. Hera's on the way to Castle Age, and he does have access to a woodline. I don't know. Vinchester's gonna have to buy himself stone to make another tower.
Yeah, this is just not good. Not good, not good. And you know, for Vinchester, he felt like he really had to make it messy against Hera, because we've said that if it's a clean game, if it's just playing into a standard build, that Hera seems to look stronger. But it just didn't work out here for him, and it looks like it's probably the end of the road. Top 8, great performance, obviously. I don't know what he's going to try and buy and sell here. The market is only useful if you have
No,
extra
he needed
resources.
the stone for the tower. He needed the stone for the tower, and he's going to cut off this woodline, because does that even range half of that woodline?
Well, it has fletching now, so I think it's fine. Hera's got 15 archers. Hera could just make a couple scouts. That'll be light cav, and it's just like Vinch is... He's going to die to archers. Trying to find some positives here.
Yep. Also, the eco at home not looking beautiful for Vinch.
Yeah.
Some idols there. I think he's just kind of... He's trying, but he doesn't have any belief.
Mm-hmm.
And Hera will simply go for a counter tower.
Yeah, you can do that. Put 5 archers in there, shoot the other tower down. Vinchester trying to track the archers from Hera. This is his last chance. If he can kill these archers, he's still very far behind, but obviously that would possibly give him a chance to come back in this game. No armor, though. Hera notices that. Happy to fight it. And now he gets his upgrades, and the light cav's going to join the party. And I know Vinch has played on in some of these games where he's fallen behind, but what are you playing on for here at this point? I think he's going to be forced to tap out.
Don't worry, he's drushing still. He's got the drush coming in towards the gate with the scout and the spearman.
Oh, yeah,
it's the
true.
Start of a bad joke. And this is the start of a sad scene here as Vinchester calls the GG. Hera's going to move on towards the semifinal. Vinchester, unfortunately, does drop out, but he had a good run in King of the Desert. He was down 2-0 against Hart, and he made the reverse sweep happen. And that's how we got here. Vinchester also, I believe he had a good... I guess the Hart match was before this, right?
Yeah. No, because Hart would have. That was not the round of 16. There was Hart and Vinch was to get into the round of 16, and then he beat Jordan 3-1. Yep.
So he had a good run. He had a good run.
Yeah, a
Coming
really
up
good
against
run.
the favorite in the tournament, though. So you're always expecting Hera to do well here, and 4-2 is a decent result for him.
Yeah, and kind of what I had said prior to the series, I think happened here today. I think while Vinchester had that crazy peak in King of the Desert 4 to roll through Hera, and then Vinch, and then Yo, and then lose to Viper in the final, I don't think the consistency is there for Vinch. He clearly has the peaks, but he's got some valleys as well. He's got some dimples in his gameplay, like his map here on the right-hand side. And that is just not going to last you through a best of 7. I think there's just 1 or 2 opportunities Hera will take. This game, an obvious example of just not having the strat altogether, not expecting what should possibly be expected because he's moving too fast. Hera, though, no surprise he moves into the semi. He will be up against Yo, which I think puts Hera as the favorite. Really excited stylistically to see how that goes, though, because Yo did some crazy things versus Tato earlier. And, man, we've got Viper and MBL in the other semifinal. So it will be a Norwegian in the final. We don't know which, against either Hera or Yo.
Yep.
Pretty crazy, man.
I think I'm going to be casting with Mem tomorrow afternoon, so I don't think I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll do the first one, but it's pretty early.
Yeah, it will be early.
Probably chill. But I think we'll be together for the final, right?
Yeah, together for the final, and then we'll just keep tabs for the semi. That's all good. But predictions, though, like in case we don't talk tomorrow, what are your thoughts? I think there's still best of 7s. So what are you thinking? Best of 7 Hera Yo, best of 7 Viper MBL.
I think that, well, I want to believe in Yo and MBL, but it's really tough. I think there's destiny awaits Viper and Hera for another finals in the finals of this finals.
I like it. Score-wise, I'm going to say 4-1 for both sets. I think Yo gets a game, and then Hera's consistency steamrolls him, and I think I'm in the same boat as you. I love MBL and Yo to death. They're 2 of my favorite players to watch, but the consistency and the heights of play from Hera and Viper will make it convincing tomorrow, I think.
Psych! MBL 4-0's Viper. Yo reverse sweeps Hera. So we have a Yo MBL final.
Dude, that'd be amazing. And I know it's not as hype, but you could even argue that a Yo MBL best of 9 might be the most entertaining Arabia best of 9 ever.
My favorite pro matchup.
Yeah.
Remember when I think we had that in like Titans League?
It was something? Titans League. Yep.
Yeah. That was so good. Those 2 are just, I don't know. They're just crazy.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up happening. But yeah, man, good cast. I had fun.
Yep.
And we'll talk tomorrow or whenever then, all right?
All right, dude. I'll see you later.
All right.
Peace.
Sweet.